Good evening, Tolkien fanatics, or morning, or night, or wherever you are when you're listening to this. But I am back. I have special guests, and we're here to do a little bit of a just open mic forum talking. And it is the end of November at the time of this recording, moving into December. It has been a long year. It has been a good and a bad year. But we're going to talk about our year and how our year went for our hobbying, specifically the types of events that we've been to, armies we've started, armies we've quit. How many models have we painted? How many models are still in our pile of shame? And then just what we're looking forward to seeing in 2021 and or 2022 and beyond. So I have a few guests with me right now and some more on the way. But first off, I have Sai. Say hi, Sai.
Hello.
I
Hi,
have.
Sai.
There you go. I have Josh,
Hey, how's it going?
and I have Mr. Mike.
Howdy.
So Sai was part of our true trivia channels that we live stream. The first of which was a horrendous disaster of epic proportions by not having the audio being recorded properly. Thankfully, we have it going correctly this time. Josh was part of one of my community connections at a battle report. Hopefully, you guys all watched that and listened to him and Richie talk about how they got into the hobby just recently. And then Mike was also part of a battle report, and he and I think we played to a draw. And then he was also part of a community connection. So, yeah,
Yep,
guys,
that is correct.
appreciate you all helping me out with my burgeoning channel this year. Uh, at the time of this recording, 205 subscribers, not bad for about 8 months worth of work, I reckon. And that's everybody who's out there listening. Huge shout out, pat on the back, whatever you want to call it. Give it to yourselves. Just a round of applause for everybody who subscribed, because that's what really makes this channel go. So, like I said, we're going to go ahead and just kind of talk about stuff that we've started, stuff that we've done. And I'm going to move straight down the list and go ahead. Sai, how many armies have you started? Any new armies this year?
Probably two.
That's it? That's
Yeah,
nothing.
two. Well, I mean, they're all ongoing. I got like 12 armies, but they're all ongoing. But I started two new ones. How's
Gotcha.
that?
That's fair. That's fair. I guess that is a good point because you're always working on new stuff. Like just recently, I was painting up a few Citadel Guard from my Minas Tirith army. Not that I've ever planned to use them, but one of those things where it's like, yeah, the army's done, but you got ongoing stuff with them. What two armies did you start?
hmm I just picked up a Goblin Town army for like $20.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah. And what was it? I got a whole bunch of was it Azog's Legion stuff
Okay.
from The Hobbit? Yeah, I actually bought all that, so that's I'm loving those models. God, those guys look good.
You talk about the fine cast ones for Azog's Legion?
No, the regular plastic guys look really good. The regular plastic guys from GW not the fine cast. The fine cast was freaking junk, man. I had to use
Yeah.
half a stick of
Green stuff.
green stuff just to
Yeah.
fill the gaps.
I tried doing an Azog Hunter Legion army just because of but I like kind of like you, I gave it up just because of the fact that those spears come out and they were just terrible. They were bent, they were messed up, they were terrible.
Yeah,
So so two Hobbit
but
armies. That's interesting.
once you get them going though, they look really good though. But yeah, two Hobbit armies. Yep.
Nice, nice. Josh, what about you? What did you start this year? Anything fun? Anything interesting?
Well, started like him, I have several that are just kind of ongoing. The two that I've got to where I'm happy with at the moment, but I haven't really gotten to try out would be Khazad-dûm and Lothlorien.
Ooh, Khazad-dûm, yes.
Lothlorien, I almost played against you when I in our
Yeah.
battle report, but
I would have played an evil army. It would have been thematic. It would have probably not been a very good evil army, but it would have been thematic. And I actually liked how ours played out a little bit better, I think.
I mean, any excuse I can get to have Sauron on the board is fantastic. So.
So Lothlorien and Kingdom. What are you working? How are you going with Kingdoms of Khazad-dûm? Are you doing the Durin's branch, or are you going with the Balin branch?
I do Durin.
Yes.
I'm currently playing with getting that other half of the army after you get Durin's full warband is the hard part. But I have a pretty comfortable combination of a dwarf king with some iron guard and a king's champion with dwarf warriors. I feel comfortable with. But
You going Hearthguard with Durin?
oh yeah, all the way, all 18.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's an
Sweet,
expensive
man.
warband. That's a really. I actually, by the time this video comes out, my Kingdoms of Khazad-dûm video will have come out, and I just reviewed them, and I spoke so much praise about the Hearthguard because honestly, they're amazing. Strength 4,
Mhm.
defense 7. Give them burly with a two-handed weapon. They just eat through stuff without even caring.
Oh yeah, Durin and 18 Hearthguard is exactly 400 points almost, and just throw in a king's champion behind them with 2 heralds. You have all the banners you need.
And you got
Yep.
2 ass-kicking heroes too, both of them with 3 attacks
Yeah.
and strike, and then you give them the banners. I mean, technically, you get 5 dice in a fight with Durin between the axe and the banner.
I took
Yeah.
down a Balrog with basically that same thing in 4 turns.
Was it one of the old box sets was Balin and 10 of the Khazad Guard, and I don't think you could upgrade them to Hearthguard before, but I think you could still give them two-handed weapons, and it's pretty cool that
They come standard with 2-handed weapons, but they don't get the burly with Balin, which why take them at all at that point, pretty much.
right. I think you get a few more named heroes with the Balin route, but the few times I have played Kingdoms of Khazad-dûm in the new edition, it has definitely been more of a Durin's way. I've seen Joe played it. Joe tried it out at one of our little local events that I ran last year, and he took home the wooden spoon prize with Balin and Gimli and Floey, and I think it was a King's Champion as well. But it didn't do very good. I think going with Durin and having those, two-handed Hearthguard, it's ridiculously good.
For me, I think with Balin, the main thing that you get to use because he's so cheap, well, cheap compared to Durin,
Yeah.
is you get the Vault Warden teams. You can get quite a few Vault Warden teams in on a Balin list,
Yeah,
and it kind of makes up for itself.
I think Durin, I think he's like 50 points cheaper or something than that, so you can get at least 2 Vault Warden teams for the same cost. I don't know. I don't know about.
Yeah, something like that.
I would wonder how that would match up if you actually played it Durin versus Balin and two Vault Wardens. I wonder who would win.
I've made some just joke around lists, and I can get about, I think it was like 15 to 17 Vault Warden teams in a list
With Balin?
Hell yeah, brother.
with Balin, a King's Champion, and a Dwarf King.
I tell you what,
Jeez.
I don't know if it would be good, but that would be badass to see if somebody played that.
Yeah.
And the entire army is pretty much defense 9 with +1 to
Yeah.
wound monsters. Like,
Good lord, man.
it's so expensive to make, but I've played with the idea.
Yeah.
It's kind of like my Barad-dûr army, where it's like, this is the one thing I'm good at. If I can get this, I'm good.
Yes, I agree. I actually had an
Right.
idea like that, doing it with Durin though, but because of the fact that Durin's more expensive, it kind of hurt the numbers. I think I was only at like a 10 to 12 Vault Warden teams. But yeah,
Yeah, getting it in there with also having Hearthguard, it's very difficult because Hearthguard are 13 points, and then Vault Warden teams are 25 for 2 models, so it gets very
Yeah.
expensive.
Yeah, it's similar cost wise. Like 2 Hearthguard are 26. They're a point more expensive than a Vault Warden team, but I think I think the damage output coming from 2 Hearthguard is better than 1 Vault Warden team. But you put a whole bunch of Vault Warden teams together, then it gets really cool. I would love to see somebody do that. That would be a really thematic, badass looking army.
Give me time. Give me time.
Lots of time, because like you said, it's super expensive.
Oh, yeah, I think it was like $200 or something like that. I'm like, I don't have time for this.
Honestly, who has $200 anymore?
No, I have 3 Vault Warden teams, so I need to buy like 15 more. So
Oh, that's only going to cost you an arm and a leg and your firstborn son. So, All right. So, Mike, what about you? Anything new coming your way? What did you start this year?
Finished up a lot of the mortar that I kind of wanted to do. There's some other stuff with it. Big purchase made this year. Pissed off a lot of people in the community with the purchase.
No.
Was buying Young Duke's Aurea Army. Yeah, not a lot of people happy for that. But other than that, man, for a while I really wasn't in the painting mood. I was more in the hobby mood. Went to a ton of tournaments this year, either judging or playing. Just trying to, support as much communities as possible. One thing I'm working on now, and I'm kind of losing my steam again a little bit, is going to be this no-named hero Condor Army for next year's events, right? So, Great Battle and Adepticon are going to be mainly the two big boys as of right now that I want to kind of capture these guys with.
I hear you. Adepticon's in May, right?
March.
March. Okay, my bad. Yeah, I've never been. I just know that it's isn't there a big one in May, or am I going crazy?
Nothing I know of.
Oh, okay. Well, we always did, because we did RGS and Go South in June, and we talked about doing it in May one year, and I think we didn't do it because of some larger event that was going on. I thought it was Adepticon. I might be wrong. I might be mistaken.
So some of these Richmond guys are doing something April, May time frame.
Yes, this upcoming year, correct. Yeah, I was talking more in the past time.
Yeah, and that's the only thing that I could think of at that time. Other than that, I'm not really sure. When's Historicon? Is that around that area, that time?
Which one? That's what depends, because Historicon runs a couple times a year.
I think you're right.
The summertime one's in July.
Yeah, I don't know that, man. I don't have an answer for that one.
Me being old and not knowing, what 2 + 2 equals, basically. That's funny. So, yeah, I feel what you mean. I feel what you mean about burning out and losing steam. You went to a lot of events because you came to pretty much every large event that I ran this year, as well as headed up to. You went up to New Jersey with me.
Yep, we did Atlantic City together.
Yep, and then what else?
He was at the Nova replacement this year.
TO for that. We did Chad's event this year.
Yep. That was just last month,
yeah, man.
October.
So yeah, it feels like it was forever ago too. So yeah, I definitely been putting in the mileage this year for trying to support the community and getting things done. Things were starting to pick up a little bit here on the I live in Maryland, but the DC home front. I know that the Fords of the Potomac start back up. We just did one mid-March, literally the weekend after Chad's event. And the next one's supposed to be in February, but things might be greasing up again as far as the world ending. Who knows? But hopefully there's a little bit more, sunlight coming out of here in the DMV area.
I think the Fords of the Potomac event is the weekend right after. I think he's like on number 5 or 6 now.
I think it's more than that, but yeah, correct.
Have to look online. I can't remember what it was. I want to go. I wanted to go to that. I probably will not be going just because of the fact that it is going to be the weekend right after I run my event in February. So I'm not going to have the ability to probably take any time off. So I'm not ruling it out. But no, it's actually at the end of February. I'm sorry. I'm looking it up right now. It's the 7th one. You're right. It's not 5 or 6. It's the 7th one according to this. And it's the Saturday, the 26th of February. So mine's the first weekend of February. His is the last weekend of February. So I might be able to make it. Well, it'll depend. That'll be cool. We'll see how work and everything goes. So the big one, next question. This is going to be kind of one that folks are like, "What? Why? Why'd you do that?" Especially if you do good with them. But what armies, and this is going to be kind of like an open forum, just chime in with what armies have you quit, if you have you quit or moved on from this year?
I got 2 of them.
Go for it.
Isengard and the Dead of Dunharrow.
Really? Okay.
I've moved on. I've moved on from. I still have them, but I played Isengard for probably the first 3 years I played this game.
Okay, so that's why it's more
I
of a
just,
burnout thing than anything.
yeah, and the group we have down here, they just. I showed up last Saturday or 2 Saturdays ago, and I played 800 points of the Dead against 1600 points of Moria Goblins and won the game.
Good lord, 1600.
You
So
played 2
yeah,
against
it
1 and
was.
won?
Yeah, and I won. So it was. Yeah,
I'm
with
not.
our group down here, when you show up with the Dead, they just freak out. So I don't play them anymore.
It's not even that hard. See, that's the thing.
Is
Like,
he?
I think the Dead of Dunhar are good. Don't get me wrong, but it's definitely an army where, unless you're a very very novice player, it's not
Well,
overly hard to overcome.
the
I
the
agree.
list I brought was the Legendary Legion though.
Yeah, so the only difference you get is you can maybe you can add a couple named heroes outside of just the king. Like
Yeah.
that's actually an army I started this year, and I started it specifically because I started the YouTube channel, and I started the Legendary Legion, and I think the only way to really play it is just to take Aragorn, the king, a herald, a few riders, and then just spam as many guys as possible. I know a lot of folks prefer to like try and squeeze in the big 3, Aragorn, Gimli, Legolas, but you got super expensive troops, you got super expensive heroes. I just say take Aragorn and the king, pair them together, have the herald running around to give the king more might to use, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, it's not a super hard army to play. It's actually one that I
No.
recommend to newer players because it's going to be hard to kill, and then it's usually wounding
Yep.
things pretty easily unless there's something like elves that are courage 5 with a warhorn, making them courage 6, which I don't even think elves can take a warhorn. So
No, I don't think so. Mm-mm.
but yeah, well, I can understand the Isengard burnout though. That's me with
Yeah.
that's me with fiefdoms.
Yeah, I mean, the first tournament you came down to here with, I played Isengard, and that was the last time I think I've played them.
Yeah, were you playing Isengard or were you playing Mordor?
No, I played Isengard.
Okay.
Not at your tournament. Not at your tournament in February. I played Mordor. But the last tournament we did here in Fayetteville that you came down to, you and your wife.
Oh yeah, at the beginning of the year in February.
Yeah.
Right.
I played Isengard.
Yeah, and see
Yeah.
that's funny. That's the event I played Corsairs, and Corsairs
Yep.
is actually an army that I have gotten rid of this year.
Okay.
So I started it. I started Corsairs last year, and we did it for the narrative scenarios for the LTRSBG team channel. And then I was like, well, I've got these guys. I should play them in an event. I took them to that event, won with them. I actually really like Umbar. I just don't like the way they play. I don't know, but that's an army I got rid of this year. Anybody else?
Yeah, I understand. Go for it, Josh.
Okay. I've actually put my Moria aside. I mean, with Richie playing Moria all the time, I haven't really gotten to play with it, and I have actually not been able to get it into a place where I'm happy with it right now. So that's off my shelf for right now.
Yeah, I can say. I know you and Richie are basically Richie's like your main go-to guy for playing. So it's hard to try and work on an army where that you want to practice and play with if that's their go-to army as well. You kind of feel like a poser copying them, right?
Yeah, and seeing how he plays it and everything, he plays it differently than I would play it, but
Right. That's
it's just like he doesn't really have anything else to play other than Thranduil's Halls, and so it's like it gets a little difficult to mix and match armies. But I I have it to where I'm kind of happy with it, but it's not feeling right at the moment, so I shelved it.
That's understandable. I can understand that. It's kind of how my Dale army is. I actually finished my Dale army this year, and that was a quote unquote ongoing project for about 2 years. I think I started that project back in 2019, because I think the new army book for the Hobbit came out in 2019. Because I know
Mhm.
the Armies of the Lord of the Rings came out in 2018 with the new edition, and I think the Hobbit Armies of the Hobbit book came out in 2019. But I started working on just a full Dale list in that year, and it wasn't until this year that I finished it. So I can understand you get burned down on you're not really happy with it until you finally finish it. What did you have there, Mike? You were gonna say something.
Yeah, fiefdoms. Finally putting their asses back in retirement. Not gonna touch them for a long time.
Well, they did pretty good for you.
Yeah, I mean they do well, and then other times it's just I make some dumb mistakes. So I'm shelving them. Really just want to definitely move on and keep going with this Gondor. Just, I got to fight this hobby fatigue.
Yeah, I understand that. Well, you got 2 prizes out of it. You won 2 best painted with that army, correct? RGS and then also Chad's event.
RGS Chad's event. Yes, that is correct. Yes.
So it's not like you're hanging them up without anything to put around their necks. You can definitely hold your head high and be like, yeah, these guys did good. So, but yeah, let's see, what armies did I get rid of? I think I got rid of. I had been working on and off Azog's Hunters army or Azog's Legion army. I mean, that's why it's interesting when you said that that's one that you started this year, Sai. I was like, oh, that's one that I just gave up on. The thing that got me was just like I said, the fine cast warriors, the Gundabad warriors. When you pull them out of the package and the spears are literally pointing backwards on themselves, so I was like, I really don't want to try this. So I got
Yeah, I
a little.
didn't. I didn't buy any Gundabad. All my stuff is the hunters. I just didn't like the sculpts of the other ones because
Yeah,
John has a bunch of them.
I got a lot of the trolls and like the ogres, and I painted 1 troll, 2 ogres, and I think I did a couple of other than the Forge World stuff. And the Forge World stuff is amazing. I mean, no lie about that. But every time I would try and go over and be like, all right, I got to work on this fine cast stuff, I would find reasons not to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But so here's the ballpark question that everyone always gets asked: how many models did you paint this year?
I'll say like I haven't honestly painted much at all. I think I did a lot. I got what was it? I got my Army of Erebor. I got them painted early in the year, but other
Yeah,
than
because
that,
you
I
took
really
that.
haven't gotten much done.
Yeah, you took that one to Rob's event for Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah, that was my best in getting all them done. But other than that, it's been pretty slow this year.
What about you, Mike? How many did you paint? And you can include Mike. I know Mike. You do other things other than MESBG. What about your other hobbies? Because I know you do Blood Bowl and stuff.
Yeah, so I've completed 2 Blood Bowl teams this year. Some one-off characters for the 40K side, but as far as the gaming side, I don't really dive too much into it. And then as far as Middle Earth, man, I don't know, dude. Probably just about. I don't know. Give you a ballpark of like 50 models. Nothing too crazy this year.
Yeah, well, you said it earlier. You've been doing a lot more community connecting than you have been hobbying, so I can understand that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Si. You're the master painter here.
Yeah,
You said your pile of shame has gone down and it's back up. So you had to
I
have
would
painted several
say,
hundred.
well, several hundred. Let's see, I painted a complete area bore arm. I'm not area bore, Khazad-dûm. I painted Rivendell for my wife plays Rivendell, so I've been painting all her stuff. So I'm probably at 400 to 500. Yeah, that's why you guys' numbers
Just
are
4 to 500.
slacking.
just,
Slacking.
just 4 to 500.
Yeah. Hey, Lee just showed up.
Well, let's see. I've done, like I said, I started Dead of Dunharrow. I did all of the Dead of Dunharrow. So that's I have, I don't know, 2 boxes worth of warriors. How many is that? Like 40 plus the king and the 2 heralds. I did an Aragorn to go with it. 3 riders. I did an entire army of Dale. That was 3 boxes worth, plus 3 captains in Girion. I did an entire army of scouts, Lurtz's scouts, and then, excuse me. I also did, what else? Oh, Numenor. I painted an entire army of Numenor. That's like 40 something models. I don't know. I'd probably say 250 for what I did this year ish. And I'm trying to think, did I build any boards? I don't think I built any boards this year.
I know you bought one.
Well, yeah, I bought yours. I'm trying to remember. Did I build a board? Or was it last year? I think I built my Mines of Moria board for this year. Because I had it in February, and I know I had it at Ringo South because it went with the theme of the event.
I built 4 boards and sold 3 of them.
2 to me, quote unquote.
Oh, then it makes no. I sold Mordor to you. What did I sold Mordor to you, and what
Mordor,
else
yeah.
did I sell to you?
Well, just Mordor, but I make 2 boards out of Mordor alone.
Yeah, and yeah. But yeah, I sold 3, 4 boards then,
Nice.
and I've made them back again. I actually made Mordor again and sold it again. So yeah.
I'm wanting to do a Dol Guldur board, but I'm still waiting for all of my stuff to come in.
Oh my God, can I chime in on that thing?
Yeah.
Sure.
On Dol
Let me
Guldur?
tell you. Oh yes. So I bought the box for the new terrain, and that is not a fun build to say the least. About 1,000 pieces, not really, but and then you really had to focus on the instructions because you can kind of go different ways because it is modular or stuff like that. So it really turns to be a pain in the ass. I'm probably halfway done with it after spending 2 to 3 hours on it. It's not fun. Jason, I know you bought a lot of them, man.
Yeah,
You might need to get some help putting those together, man, because it's rough.
Well, I'll be honest. This is the side of the hobby that I like. This is my favorite part, and this is going to sound weird, but my favorite part of the hobby is assembling. I am not a very good painter. I'm a terrible player, and lately I've just been too busy with work to even go and try and get to events. But give me a box of models and be like, hey, this needs to be assembled like now. I can get it done pretty quick. And that just kind of goes back to me being when I was a kid, like, and even now. One of my favorite things growing up was Legos, and I have so many Lego sets, and I probably have at least 12 more of them, brand new, all Star Wars, because Star Wars Legos are fucking awesome. I don't care what anybody says. But assembling is like the easiest thing, so I'm looking forward to getting them and getting my hands dirty with them. I'm not looking forward to painting them, but I am looking forward to getting my hands on them and getting them assembled. But hey, at least you got yours. I haven't even gotten mine in yet.
Yeah, I don't know how they came in so quick, but they definitely did. There's other stuff I'm waiting on too, though, man. Like
I'm
there's
just gonna build my own.
Probably cheaper too.
Oh yeah.
What can I say? I'm a G-dub snob. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be a G-dub snob though. I feel like even with the whole like supply chain crisis and everything going on, I feel like they really dropped the ball on this pre-order. I feel like they definitely could have done a better job, or been like, hey, they should have limited the amount of stuff that could have been sold, or done it out over a period of time. But I placed 3 different orders and I've gotten nothing in. I mean, I'm impressed that you actually got something in, Mike. I know Joe just chimed in our little group chat we have earlier today, and he was like, "Yeah, I got everything except for." So it seems like there's a lot of stuff that people are just not getting in.
well, more on that too, man. Shout out to who was the one that reminded us today that about the dice being in that G Dubs did not make
That was Lee.
an announcement for.
Yeah, I
was
think
it
Lee was.
Yeah.
Man, that was a good move right there, dude.
Yeah, definitely. Lee, are you here?
Says he's here.
Hey, yes, I'm
There
here.
he is.
Hey, we got a Lee.
What's
Hey.
up?
How you doing, Lee?
That
Good,
was
how
the,
are y'all?
that was the perfect way to segue into making sure that Lee was here.
Yes, the call of nature has been answered.
We don't need to know what you and your Chinese food were doing in the bathroom.
Oh, jeez, really? That's TMI, man.
Did we miss something about Chinese food?
And there's our favorite chump from the Nashville area as well, the chump in the east. That is
I love
Evan.
it. Kevin's here too.
Yeah, I'm here too.
Hey, and there's
We're set
our
up on my
other-
kitchen table.
There we go. So yeah, we're about 30 minutes in, guys. So this is, like I said, we have a few more people drop in. So Lee and Kevin and Evan have joined us from the Tennessee area. So we're getting Tennessee invasion right now, just like the community connection I did with Evan and Kevin earlier this year. God, I'm gonna keep stumbling over that, Kevin and Evan. Why?
Nah, everybody does.
Yeah, it's a thing.
Why'd you guys have to do this to me?
There's no video.
I don't know. Is there
Is there video?
Negative. We're just doing voice chat. I'm gonna put a lot of pictures over for.
oh, all right.
I got you.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why there's no videos.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, so quick round of introductions. We have Lee here, who was part of a community connection, and then he was also part of our trivia game that we did, and then Kevin and Evan and Kevin. No, it doesn't work. Never mind. We'll just go with Kevin.
No, it's just Kevin. Kevin with
Yeah,
the K and Kevin without a K.
Yeah, that's
with
true.
Kevin.
That's true. That's true.
But it's Kevin Kevan.
Yeah.
That's actually a way to spell it. It's a Canadian way of spelling it, Kevan. But it is a way
Never
to
mind.
spell
We
it.
can't use that.
What's wrong with the Canadians? They have syrup.
Yeah, I've got the internet and shipping trucks, so I've got syrup too.
Man, shipping's kind of.
We have.
I mean,
actual
I've still got
healthcare.
it. That's what Minnesota's for.
That's pretty much Canada anyway.
Exactly.
I just call Minnesota a frozen wasteland because of the snow and the ice and the
It is
lake effect.
horrifying.
But yeah, thanks guys for joining in. So we've talked a few questions so far. Let's get your guys' opinions. I don't care who goes first, but the first thing we talked about was like armies that we started, and so far we had Sai, who has started 2 of them this year with Goblin Town and oh my god, I just can't my cat. Goblin Town and Azog's Legion, and then
Yeah.
hold on, thinking of names here. Too many names now. Josh started Lothlorien, and Mike, what did you got? Moria, you said. So yeah, Lee, Kevin, Evan, what did you guys start this year?
Y'all want to take it first?
I'm gonna go last because it's gonna take me a while.
Oh
He's
God.
got a lot apparently.
I mean, I do too.
Go for it, Lee. Go for it, Lee.
Oh Lord, well, started the year on Moria and then never finished it because I ran out of time and went to as if that didn't take long enough, I decided to convert an entire Osgiliath veteran army, and then after that completely blew up in my face at RGS.
Hey, I thought it
I'm
was a
sorry.
great army.
Let's see, I don't even. More recently, be easy. I did Vanquishers, and currently working on Thranduil's Halls.
What did you do with the Vanquishers?
Finally, podium.
Yeah,
Wait,
Lee.
wait, what?
Lee?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lee,
No, I
What,
meant
Lee?
you're
what
supposed to
did
be
you
my
do to
wooden
me?
spoon man, Lee. You can't podium.
Lee
no.
podiumed?
Yeah, he got
Yeah.
he got third place last weekend.
Hell yeah.
Holy shit. Did you hear that, honey?
Nice.
Lee podiumed. Finished third.
I would also like
Now,
to say
the
you're welcome.
best part of it is this is how busted the Vanquishers Legion is. I was playing 130 points down.
You're welcome. I did that for you.
Congratulations,
So
Lee.
what you're
They-
saying is there's some Nashville nepotism going on there.
It is nasty, for sure.
Yeah.
It's not super busted, but against certain armies, it's.
Is it?
Like,
Is
I'm,
it as?
I'm sure Evan will get to it when he talks about his Dolgador.
Is
Yeah, I'm
it-
gonna scream.
Is it as bad as the Rangers of Ithilien were when they first came out? Supposedly.
It's a different kind of busting. The Rangers just sit back and there's no interaction. This is just your opponent constantly trying to interact and failing.
Hey, I have lots of interaction with my Rangers. It's usually my enemy picking their models up off the table and moving them away, and me just going sorry. But there's interaction.
Oh, it's hand to hand for sure. But yeah.
Hand to spell.
my last two games, I took one wound combined and then renewed it. So at the end of the game, nobody had any wounds lost.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Kevin, what about you? What you got going this year?
So I got back into the game this year and
That's big.
started off with Minas Tirith and then transitioned over to Rohan. Ran with Rohan for like 6 months.
That's the best.
And
army.
then, yeah. Well, I still like Minas Tirith the best. Rohan's really good though. And then moved over to Army of Thror,
Oh.
which
Mm.
Lee, you got me by what, like 3 victory points to podium, I think.
Something like that.
Yeah. So I mean that army's solid. And then I'm actually going to be after March on Music City next weekend. I'm actually going to be transitioning back over to Minas Tirith because I have some conversions that I'm working on, and I'm hopefully going to be. I'm either going to be bringing that or an army that I'm waiting on Games Workshop to send me to bring to Great Battles.
Well, are we gonna get a hint here, or is it just gonna be like, oh, you'll see?
You'll see.
Okay, must be spiders.
No, it's good. I only play good, except for Dunlin. I have Dunlin too. They're sitting at my painting table. I think I just need to like dry brush them, and then that army's done at like 600 points.
Oh yeah, Dunlin. That's another army I moved on from this year.
They're good. I mean, they're squishy, but they're fun to play. I like them, and they look cool, even though there's only like 4 poses.
My experience with them is like you're in the game, you're winning the game. Like in the case that Mike and I played in New Jersey, you're winning the game, and then the last turn is just like, oh wait, how did I lose again? And you just kind of sit there scratching your head like, I lost, but I was winning.
Yeah,
What
as
happened?
soon as Thryden goes down, you're done.
And that's what did it for me.
But that army's fun. I like it. So if I ever play Evil at a tournament or like doubles or something like that, that's going to be my army.
Nice. All right, so Evan, you said you have a lot. Hit us.
Yeah, literally every army I own has
Yeah,
been
because you
in the
started
last
this year too.
Yeah. So I started with Mordor was my first. Kevin got the starter kit. He already had a bunch of models. I've told this story before, but he got the starter kit just to get some of the new stuff and getting up on Rohan. And I took the evil side of that. So the Morannon Orcs, the Witch King on Fell Beast, the Troll. And then from there, I went some Isengard, which I have yet to take to a tournament. Even though I'm pretty sure I've never lost with it in friendly games, but I think that's why I've never taken it. I've got a weird mental thing where I have to make the bad stuff work.
You don't want to. You don't want to ruin, that good vibe going.
Exactly. Yeah. I haven't lost with it. I'm trying to keep it. And then, it wasn't really like a switch, but I just kind of bounced back and forth between painting models for Isengard and Mordor for a while, and then didn't branch out until I started Azog's Hunters in like the late winter, early spring last year. And then I went from there to some Dol Guldur stuff, some Mirkwood stuff, and then Easterlings, and then I've got some Azog's Legion I've been working on the last couple months, and then Thorin's Company, and then a secret army that I'm working on right now.
You with the secret army too, there, eh?
Yeah, well,
It's mean.
it's rude. Nobody will see it coming.
I'll see it coming.
Is it evil
You'll-
or is it good? Give us.
Oh yeah, Lee knows.
You told Lee?
Yeah, I told Lee. Lee, Kevin, and I are the only people that know. Yeah, I forgot Lee. Yeah, Lee knows. I couldn't contain myself. Kevin watched me order some of it, so he knew. Actually, Kevin talked me into it.
Is it Iron Hill?
You built one of them here too.
And I built one of the models here.
Is it Iron
Lee,
Hill?
I'll give you $1 if you tell me who it is.
Azog's Legion?
No, I started on Azog's Legion a while back. That's not really a secret. Everybody knows about that.
That's right. You played the Hunters for Azog's Hunters, so of course you probably had the.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of like what you've done because we've talked a good bit about stuff, and I'm sitting here going, and then you're like, I've built one of them here, and I'm like, I know you're really proud of that. What do you call it? Diorama with Thorn and Azog. Is it something to do with one of those?
No, that's a good guess though, because I am very proud of that model. Anytime anyone asks to like see something, I show them that.
I was gonna say that one and your Thranduil on
That and Thranduil on the Elk are the two. Those are
Is that still
displays for sure.
Is that still on Games Workshop's Facebook page?
Yeah. My Thranduil on Elk actually got the dude who owns the G-Dub down in Franklin, Tennessee. I went down there for a purchase one time, or to pick up an order one day, and I told him that I'd order that, and he was like, dude, when you paint that, bring it in, I want to see it. And I said, okay. So I painted it, and then about a week later, took it in, and he was like, is it okay if I post this on the Facebook page? And I was like, yeah, sure.
Tell them no. You want monetary compensation for that. Every time someone clicks on it, because they can see whenever somebody clicks on video, every view is a nickel, and every like is 25 cents.
Looking back, next time I paint something that good, I'll make them pay me for it. But yeah, those are the two. I'm pretty proud of the paint job on my Dol Guldur stuff too. I think I did good on that. I'm about to alter those a little bit. Well, just the Necromancer. I'm going to paint some stuff on the Necromancer. There's some stuff I want to change on him, so I'm going to do that soon. Those are all on generation shift bases too. So I put a lot of effort into those. My Thorin's Company too, I'm pretty proud of those. I think I painted those pretty well, and they also are all on special bases. So
it's an army
that was the
you're
thing.
not going to see coming, you say. Is it a Mirkwood Rangers army?
Can't take it no more.
No, Mercury Rangers, I've done
tell
that.
you, so I'll send you my PayPal for that
It's
dollar.
only invisible characters. That's what it is.
Yeah, it's exclusively invisible ring bearers now. I do have an invisible ring bearer.
They are invisible though in the woods. It's Mirkwood Rangers.
Little Bilbo.
He did
I
ask
wouldn't
me
know.
to
I
send
still
him
don't have my
the
book, so I
picture of
can't
the
tell.
Legendary Legion.
Yeah, I am going to run the Mirkwood Legendary Legion at some point, just because it's
Is it
there
right
and I
on
have the
Facebook?
models. So I might as well do it.
Please
But yeah,
don't
that's
have
the
to say
secret army. I give it a couple months, and it'll burst angrily onto a table. So
Is it an army we've talked about here so far?
absolutely not. You and I've never even talked about it in private.
I know. I kind of figured that. I'm trying to figure it out.
It's
You're gonna make me
legitimately,
go
you're
Sherlock Holmes
literally,
on this.
you're gonna be like, what in the?
Okay, so how about
No
this?
one's gonna see it
Just
coming.
make sure you bring it to an event that. Oh well, fuck. The only event I'm going to be TOing in the next foreseeable future is Great Battles. So
It might. I'll try. I'll try to have it done by then.
You can this February.
I can probably do it. Yeah, it's February. I might bring it to that.
well, you got 2 months. The real
That
question
potentially could be its debut, actually.
the real question will be is if the models get there in time for you to be able to paint them.
Oh yeah, I've already got them. We're good.
Oh, well, never mind then. Oh, Kevin,
Yeah.
you're the one
There you
waiting
go.
on them to come in from GW. You said.
What's it?
You said you're the one who's waiting on the models.
Yeah, I ordered some models 2 weeks ago, 2.5 weeks ago, and I haven't even got an update yet from GW.
I don't even want to talk about GW and shipping right now. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you.
we had that little bit of a rant before you guys joined in from me and some others.
Yeah. Yeah, don't even get me started on. They're really harshing my mellow right now for several reasons. Up to and including the fact that I am TOing a fairly major event and there's prize support in my orders I'm waiting on. So I'm going to call them at least once a day, every day for the foreseeable future and bother them until they finally go, you know what? How about we send this dude the order because he is using 15 cell phones to tie up all of our operators.
Well, I can send you my cell phone. You can do the same thing, or I can do it for you.
I'm just gonna find 20 people. They can't have more than 20 people on phones, so I just need to find 20 people to just chain call GW for
probably
a
don't even
week.
have that many. Let's be honest at this point.
Yeah, at this point it's probably 6.
If that. My my friend's wife actually works in a call center or worked in one of those call centers, and she was working 11-hour days for the past, I don't know, so basically since this whole pandemic BS started in January of last year, and she's just working from home, and she'd be on taking calls from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. So, and they had to do it because people were just dropping left and right.
As long as they get it sorted out by the time the Defense in the North comes out, I'll be fine.
Well, I'm kind of like
They're
Evan.
actually
I've
going
got
to
some,
redo the shipping again when that happens.
Yeah, they're gonna switch to a new fulfillment system right before Defense in the North comes out too. They're just gonna switch back to the old one.
Don't do this to me. I want my dwarves.
I'm in your boat, Evan. I've got some prize support tied up. I mean, mine for the most part's not that big a deal. I've got 2 months still to my event, but it would be nice to at least have some sort of. you got a week.
A week. No big deal. Well, the good news is if it's not here, whoever wins is still gonna get their stuff. So
I'm actually going to the warehouse Monday, Evan. If you
what?
The warehouse in Memphis, they have a big store. I'm gonna go to the store.
What?
So what you're saying is we need to go and raid this warehouse Viking style and run off with all our orders.
Road trip.
Or Evan could just see if they'll let me pick it up for him, and I could bring
The
it.
homeless-looking Dunlendings just raiding the Westfold.
I have an axe, and I'm not afraid to use it. I also have.
I don't have an
furry
axe.
coat.
I've got a buck 119 though. I've got knives. A buck 119. It's just like a hunting knife.
Oh, okay. Well, I got one of those too.
Huh?
I've
I have a sword.
You do? Kevin has a sword. I'll take the musket. No,
That's escalated quickly.
It's escalated so quickly.
Okay, but is this?
Well, you can't be keeping homie's stuff from him.
Well, I will say this too. I can probably sharpen that sword for you since I've done blacksmithing as part of my advanced machinist career.
Give me my prize support, or I will come for blood.
Seriously, though.
There's gonna be
Evan,
folks watching this what the fuck is wrong with you people? We need to call the cops.
We're like this all the time.
Now.
Yeah, I'm on a list now. If I try to go to the GW store in Memphis, I'm just gonna.
Well, that's a better list than what I'm probably on. So.
Yeah,
You're in
actually,
Facebook jail. What are you talking about?
No, I am not on
I'm
Facebook
pretty
jail.
sure you're not.
No, I'm not. I just
Wow.
posted
Posted.
today.
He posted today. Yeah.
Like 17
It's been
times.
like at least twice a month the entire time I've known you. I'm like, oh, Jason hasn't posted in a while.
No,
And then one
no.
day you post something and you're like, oh, finally out of Facebook jail. And I'm like, oh, there he is.
Hey, it's not twice a month. It's 30 days at a time. So
So it's just once a month.
I've actually been. I'm very proud of myself. I've been out for over 2 months now. I think I got
Oh
out
my
at the end of
goodness.
September. I did get
What a
put,
good
I
boy.
did get put back in though last week, and challenged it, and it was overturned. So what can I say? Free man here.
The justice system in
Just call me
action.
Kyle
There we
Rittenhouse. You know?
go.
He just uses his wife's Facebook page.
That too. Hey, look. I mean, that's one of the biggest reasons why I probably am going to scale back next year. I'm tired of dealing with stupid Facebook.
Hashtag stupid Facebook correction.
Oh, that's a much nicer way of saying what I want to say. I mean, I guess I could say it. I have this rated for not for children.
NSFW.
Oh gosh. Well, all right.
Anyway, I derailed the hell out of us. We're back. That's that's everything. The
Hey, I
secret
like
army
going
was
off
the
topic.
last thing. And
Well,
that is my answer to question number 1.
see. Oh yeah, okay. So that's the start of the question. What about armies that you guys have quit this year? And any that you've passed? Like, for example, I was talking with earlier. I started Umbar last year. Did it for a few narrative scenarios. Took it to an event in Fayetteville, won, and then never played them again. So I sold it off. Is there any army like that you have? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm like burping here and I can't stop. Any army that you've tried and just been like, nope, the hell with this army. Be off with your head.
Everyone Evan plays.
Okay, so you know what? Lee said that, so I'll go first.
Okay, here we go. So this is 30 minutes later.
No, pretty much just the Mirkwood Rangers. I still really play with everything else. Now I go through phases where I exclusively will play one thing. But like as soon as I get in about 2072, when I finally get my new sculpt of the Witch King and get it painted, I'll go back to Mordor for a little while, play with that. But the only thing that I've ever been like absolutely not, never again, legitimately almost threw them in the trash was the Mirkwood Rangers.
Really? They just this was before the new. Never mind. This is before the Well, and you told me about that. That was one of those little events that you guys ran, and the guy kind of did his own house rules for the dragons and basically made them OP. So
yeah, I died a lot.
I feel like I can understand where you're coming from, but I feel like that isn't really a good.
No, that is not a good gauge for an army at all. But that wasn't even the thing. The thing was when I realized they are S3D3, and granted they're incredible shooters and they have high fight value. I understand that, but S3D3, I was essentially playing with 14-point Goblin Town goblins, and that made me exceptionally angry. Is what the thing was. But they've got a Legion now. I own the models. I'm gonna play with it and see what's what.
And do you use your archers in a battle line instead of skirmishers?
Well, that's because there was a dragon shooting fire at me. I couldn't just sit there. That is why that happened.
Well, that is understandable, but it is a good thing to hear that you're thinking about trying it again with the new Legion. Wait, you said 2072 for when you're going to get your Witch King sculpt?
Yeah, if I had to ballpark it, maybe 2185.
I was thinking
the beginning of Mass Effect is when I'll finally get my new Witch King.
I was thinking 2172, but okay, 20. You're a little more optimistic than I am.
Am I the only one here that's gotten all my orders?
Yes.
How many orders
I've
did
got
you make?
mine.
What?
Well,
I've got mine.
I've got 3 still pending.
My Witch King's sitting right over there, the new one. Yeah, they're both made.
My Witch King right here. My
Mine
Vanquish.
must have just fallen off the boat because I don't know.
Well, I'm talking. I don't think the Vanquishers were part of the new order. Weren't they an MTO, or did they come out
Yeah.
as a pre-order?
The White
They were an
Council.
MTO,
Or
weren't
the
they?
Vanquishers were part of the pre-order.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I
What?
thought they were just part of the MTO. No.
No, they're not. They're not made to order.
The White
They
Council.
didn't
was
come out with the
standing
pre-order. That
strange.
was a week later.
I thought the stuff that came out with the pre-order was the new book, the ruins terrain, the
The
dice,
ruins?
and the new Witch King model. I thought there was like
Yeah.
5 things.
Pre-order. That's all it was. The other stuff was a week later.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, the spiders and the vanquishers were a week later.
Yeah.
I thought.
Now it's not a made to order because they're just back in the store, but they did come out like a week later.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
I actually bought the vanquishers for prize support, and mine have come in as well. But everything I pre-ordered,
Oh.
all my ruins of Dol Guldur, all my dice, my 2 Witch Kings that I pre-ordered for, like all this stuff I ordered for giveaway prizes, and none of it's frickin' arrived.
Yeah, that's the only reason I'm mad. Like the order that's like just me and Kevin's personal stuff, I don't really mind that that's behind because like I can wait for that. It's the prize support that hasn't arrived that irritates me.
Oh,
If it was just my personal stuff, I'd be like annoying but okay.
Even my
But this
personal
is
stuff I
technically
mind.
other people's stuff.
Even
So.
my personal stuff on mine, because I got about $500 tied up into this, and it's already onto the next credit card statement month, and it's like, I've technically paid for this, and I've heard nothing.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna bug them.
But the stuff that
Look,
came out
I
a week
derailed
later,
it again.
everybody got. Damn it, Evan! This is why you go last.
I'm sorry.
What are you sorry for, man?
This is why we love our
My
chummies.
existence.
So Evan decided to move on from Mirkwood Rangers for now. Kevin, have you decided to move on from anything? Back on topic.
Numenor. I played them. They were okay. I mean, I like them. I like the lore of Numenor, but just game-wise, there's just not enough.
They need
Yeah.
love.
They're kind of
Yeah.
like. So
Just give them some cav, and I'll be happy. So then I can at least have some combined arms.
Right. I mean, I started not only. So I built Numenor this year. Josh knows, and
Mm-hmm.
I also did Lurtz's Scouts, and I've played multiple games, at least 5 with each of them, and honestly, they play about the same. They're both fight 4, they're both strength 4, they're both defense 5 armies. Of the 2 of them, I like Numenor better because I have more guaranteed killing power with the heroes, but I feel that the Lurtz's Scouts have the better winning ability because of their mobility. Their mobility ability. Good lord, too many ilities.
I don't know. It didn't help you against me, so.
Well, I also not to lie, that was only the second game I played them, and I totally screwed that up big time.
Yeah, a lot of F-bombs and stuff like that, yeah.
Hey, it was at an event. There were people around. I reeled my sailor's voice in. I was muttering them under my breath, not out loud.
It was a safe
talking about-
space. It was okay.
I was
You're
talking
doing
about
better than
YouTube.
me. I scream.
What? What'd you say?
YouTube.
YouTube.
Yeah, your YouTube video.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Which one? All of them? Yeah.
Yeah, all of them.
Hey man, they're rated not for children. So what can I say? Sometimes you just gotta say fuck.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
mean, sometimes words just need to be expressed.
Hey, we're all nerds here. We all know Harry Potter. If you fear a word, you fear the thing itself. And I'm not
There you
gonna
go.
lie, I don't fear that.
I am Slytherin.
This is the
Voldemort?
wrong fandom.
So Kevin,
Yeah.
you've moved on
Glad it
from
wasn't me
Numenor.
that derailed it this time.
No, that was me. Kevin, you moved on from Numenor. I can understand that. Mine has been shelved for a while as well, to be honest.
Yeah, I have like 30 more models to prime and paint, but they're gonna get a backseat behind. I think I have like 4 projects that I have in my pipeline that I want to get done first.
You have 30 more? How many models do you have of Numenor?
Oh, I originally bought them for NashCon because I was gonna run Numenor at NashCon, but since I was helping Austin out with Rohan, I was seeing horses in my sleep. I was just painting so many riders of Rohan to help Austin out for the Battle of Helm's Deep that I just ran out of time with building and priming, painting Numenor. So I was like, well, I did all these horses, so I'm bringing Rohan to NashCon.
That makes sense, though. That makes sense. Lee, what about you? Have you been like the hell with this army for any army this year?
I don't
Outside
quit
of your Gondor
armies.
one?
Yeah, I don't quit armies, but that's the closest one I've come to quitting because it did so badly. But I'll get back around to trying to prove to the world that Osgiliath veterans are the best one day. But I've gotten a taste of winning with Vanquishers, so
Yep, you'll be playing those till 2045.
2072, because that's when his new Witch King model's coming in, right? Right, right, Evan?
So yeah.
2072, I'll be 103 years old. Yeah, I won't be playing by then.
Not with that attitude.
Come on
I'm living
now.
to be 150 at least, man.
Hey, I didn't even think I was going to make it to 30 at some point, and somehow I made it to 30. Albeit with a lot of gray hair now.
1,000 years ago.
Yeah, I was there 3,000
Was
years
there
ago
3,000
when
years
Evan ordered his new Witch King.
when GW actually sent stuff out on time.
I've never seen that.
Once what was known was lost and forgotten. So
Yeah, my orders.
I think all orders.
Mm-hmm.
everyone but Mike's and his Dol Guldur. So
Yes, Mike. Oh, okay. Josh, or not Josh. Joe got his stuff, albeit it was missing things. It was missing his book. So, no surprise.
That's annoying.
Yeah, yeah. So Lee,
So with the-
Lee, did you have
with the
anything
book-
other than the veterans of Helms, the Osgiliath veterans, or is it just that one army that kind of rubbed you the wrong way, sadly, for this year?
see, I played Mortar Great Battles and it did great. So trying to think of what all I play a different freaking army every tournament.
I think I faced you at RGS with it. I had Barador.
That was bad. It was supposed to be built for terror, and freaking Josh's stuff just scared the living shit out of everything, and it all ran away. Like I had elf courage on my troops, and they couldn't pass the courage test.
I think I sniped your Warhorn multiple times.
Yeah, well, let's see. You chill soul either my banner or Warhorn pretty quick, and then I misplaced Faramir, and you got him, so it was all downhill from there.
Yes, but you won best themed or something. I thought you got some sort of what did you win at
Display
RGS?
board. Best
Display
display
board.
board.
Yeah, his display board was fantastic.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's what you got. That and wooden spoon, of course.
Yeah.
Made feel things.
No, the I got best theme for the Mordor, the douchebags.
Oh yeah, that was right. That was in February.
The douchebags is a splendid list.
I love
liked
that
it.
army.
So, looking back, we've talked about it. I think we've all talked about it. I'll kind of lead it off, and that way everybody can think about it. How many different events, and I know this is going to be a lot for you Nashville guys because you do monthly ones. How many events did you guys attend this year? I know for myself, I only went to, I want to say 4. I think it was 4 I went to this year. Fayetteville, just this last October. New Jersey. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I went to 5. I went to one in New Jersey. I went to one in South Carolina for the new gaming group that just started like an hour and a half, 2 hours away in the Greenville area. I went to the one that Mike was running with Robert Loader on Memorial Day. And then I went to one in Fayetteville. So, yeah, I did 5 events this year.
think it's about as many as I did, roughly.
Yeah, you and I were together at that one, and then I know you came to both of my events.
I was at RGS. I went to the Great Battles. I fought you at Rob's. That's where I almost got first place.
So you ran
Then
into a 40K army.
I did a doubles event with Richie. That was the Nova replacement. Me and him got, I think, Mike can probably correct me on this, for like second or third place.
Yeah, it was second.
Yeah, that
Hell
was
yeah.
Army of Thor. I was really happy with that one. And then we did it was called Slugfest. It was 4 rounds of nothing but to the death. That was pretty fun. It was down in
It was in Richmond, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I almost went to that one.
Richie did really well in that one. I did 2 major wins, 2 major losses. So, and then we did a little weekend trip to see Jason. That was the last game I played.
Let's see. So you played Army of Thor at the doubles event. You took the new Iron Hills at Rob's
Rob's.
event. Yeah. You took Baradur.
At RGS.
What did you take in February? You came in.
Yeah, I was a mix of Iron Hills and Army of Thor.
Okay, yeah, that's right. I remember now.
I got the wooden spoon in that one because it was just it just did not go my way.
Don't feel bad. I almost got the wooden spoon. I did not a Fayetteville event. I'm sorry, Chad's event in Asheville in the beginning of October. I took Iron Hills with Army of Thor, and it was Thor, Dane, and Iron Hills Ballista, and then just like a whole bunch of those Grimhammer guys that are upgraded.
Yeah, I love this.
And I came in third to last. Mike and I were playing for the wooden spoon in the third round, and he won the wooden spoon, so to speak. But I did Dunland.
Definitely threw that game.
You what?
Definitely threw that game.
Oh yeah, I knew you did. You sent Immerhill right up.
I
the
threw
middle
all my
of-
games.
I was-
After that Mumek, I threw all my games.
Yeah, that was interesting. Yeah, you threw Immerhill up against me. I was like, oh, he doesn't care. He's ready to go. But let's see. I think Fayetteville. I already said I took Corsairs. I took Dunland in New Jersey for the Atlantic City Open. That again, Dunland's a fun army. It's just I played you, Mike, in the first round. I was winning all the way up to the very end, and then that last turn, you ganked my Thryden and took the prize, first Caesar prize, and it went from me winning to me losing big time. But I'm trying to think, what other armies did I play? I don't remember.
Sorry to interrupt. Evan's writing a list right now.
Oh Lord.
Mind y'all's business.
He's trying to remember everything he's played and all the events he's gone to.
Nah, he's looking through a Necromancer book and he's writing a Pits of Dolgador list.
Oh, he's actually writing a list. I got you.
Pen and paper.
Wait, you actually know how
It's
to
a good
write
old
with your
fashioned way.
hand?
What's that?
He can actually write with pen and paper?
Yeah, I just learned.
Oh, good job.
I just learned how to read too.
What's reading?
See?
Oh boy. Mike, what about you? What you talked? You went to a lot of stuff this year, and you ran a few events. Well, what was your year in review, looking for events and everything?
I think off the top of my head, it was like 6x2. I think I played in 6 events, and then obviously TO'd the Nova and Memorial Day one.
What was the Memorial Day one that Rob ran? I can't remember what it was called. Was it of Wolves and Shattered Shields?
Yeah, Wolves and Shattered Shields. That's exactly
Yeah.
correct. Yep.
I had to look up what my cup I got. I got best sportsman for some reason. Apparently, people think I'm fun to play with.
I should
Yeah,
know.
we win. That's fine.
I should actually degrade that number though and bring it down to 5.5 because I was half of me was missing for Great Battle of last year. I
Yeah,
was very inebriated.
You're about 3 sheets to the wind halfway through the first round.
Jason, if you won Best Sportsman, was it like a tournament exclusively ran and played in by those who are hard of hearing?
It was a lot of old people, so I'm kind of. That's a good question.
So that's probably what it was.
I think I voted for you in
But
that
somehow,
RGS.
but you know,
Not RGS, but the other one.
I would think that it must be something with young people too, because I went to Atlantic City and somehow I got Best Sportsman at that one too. I don't know why.
It's just your nice, bubbly, soft personality is what it is.
You take the loss in stride. That's what it is. So,
Hmm.
Well, I guess I am just.
Good night voting for Jason for best sport. Mark Zuckerberg.
Nice. Don't get me off topic again.
It was Lee this time.
Yeah, I wasn't yelling at you. I wasn't yelling at you. I was yelling at Lee.
Muy
Hey,
caliente.
Jason.
Yeah.
Jason.
No.
Jeff Bezos.
Oh, Jeff.
We're gonna have to pause this so I can go on a rant.
intermission.
It's okay. I just muted my mic and screamed into the air. Now I might have to do it. So if my mic goes dead for an extended amount of time, it's just
Screaming into the void.
every sailor's curse I can come up with. All right, Josh. What about you? Well, wait. Did we do you already?
I've
Josh?
already done mine.
I'm sorry. See, you get me off track. Sai, what about Sai?
I did 3 tournaments. One was yours, and 2 were in Fayetteville. I got podium and best sportsman in one. The other ones I just tanked at. Just suck.
Preach.
I'm not a real big tournament player. I like to just say, hey, we're gonna play 1,000 points. Let's just what we got.
Yeah, I've realized I'm not a very good tournament player either. I just lose a lot. And then for some reason I win best sportsman. Bunch of crazy people. With my bubbly personality. Ha ha ha.
Hee hee.
Yeah.
See, you know,
It's all right.
nice.
We just let them win,
nice
right?
is funny. Bubbly, yeah, you know. I drink too much coffee. I don't know. Soft? The only thing soft about me is my gut.
Mhm.
About your hands and your feet. You get mani pedis?
No, I'm a machinist. You can't do that. I have to keep my calluses up. That way I can deal with hot ass metal and sharp edges all day.
Yep.
Not on your feet
Yep.
though. You can get some pedicures.
No, you got to keep the soles nice and rough because when you're standing for 10 hours a day, 6 days a week, you got to keep that up.
Sorry,
Steel
I'm
mill
doing
works the same. Steel mill works the same way. Yep.
Off topic.
What's the topic?
sorry.
Josh,
What's the topic
you're gonna have
again?
to be that guy.
I mean, I'm usually the designated driver. I'm usually that guy, so that's,
There we go. You know, I can't be the designated driver because I get off topic too easy. So, Lee, what about you?
Let's see. January, I ran the Fantasy Fellowship event.
That was a cool idea.
Yeah, I popped Kevin and Evan's tournament cherries with that one, and
Oh, you naughty boy.
Evan's first wooden spoon.
Of many.
I want you to know I did not say it, even though I was thinking it.
No, I said it.
See, and then my second tournament was Great Battles, and did decent for me. Got like 10th, I think. And then we had an escalation event in Nashville right after that, and I took Mordor again, and they done pretty good. See, that Adams Dragon tournament that went just as badly for me as it did Evan with the fire.
Yeah.
But I did get best painted Dragon Slayer for that one, and I got best painted at the escalation tournament. I think my next one was probably RGS, and then I've missed a lot of tournaments this year. So, and then NashCon, well, I did pretty good in it. I got like 8, I think, and then like last weekend got my first podium. So
Woo!
and it didn't even freaking count for the league standings. So because it was practice for everybody else for March on Music City.
I feel you on that for missing events this year. Yeah, it's been one of those crazy years. There were a number of events in y'all's way that I wanted to go to, NashCon being one of them, that literally had to drop off last minute, and then March on Music City. Looking forward to trying to squeeze that in, but work through a curveball at me last week before last, and I was thinking about it all the way up till when was I messaging you, Evan? I was messaging you like on Monday or Tuesday last week.
Yeah, Monday or Tuesday, yeah.
Yeah, and then that got shut down. So
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind going to more tournaments. It's just, I mean, Jason's, yours is 2 hours away, and that's everything else is 4 to 5.
yeah,
Me.
I think we're kind of lucky being here and where I'm at in Charlotte area, because I'm not in Charlotte. You know, watch for the fake news out there. But it's 2 hours, a little less than 2 hours to get down to Greenville. About 3 hours to get out your way east into to Fayetteville. Asheville's an hour and a half away, and then if I feel like going out of the Carolinas, going up towards the DC area for when Rob and Mike run events is 6 hours. Then heading to Nashville is 6 hours.
Yeah.
Every tournament I have to go to is at least 3 hours away.
Well, you know, that's what happens when you live out in BFE.
I will accept that gratefully. I will still rather live here than in city.
Oh,
Hey.
all day, man. Lee, you've never been to my house.
No, never been invited.
Very nice.
Hey, everybody was invited. I have invited many people for battle reports. You just don't want to drive that far. I can understand. But you're more country than I am, Lee, but I'm in that point where it's like the little small town is within driving distance if I need to go get something, but outside of that, the big city is an hour away. And I'm happy with that. And it's still too crowded. So, Evan and Kevin.
You want to go first?
Yeah, might as well. I'm here.
Rock, paper, scissors.
So I went to
Probably everything
our
that Lee
local
did.
tournament in January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, not October, November. I'm not counting. So that's like what? 9
10.
right there. 10. And then I went to
9.
well, August was no, we had a recon in August. So then also NashCon, huh? Recon was July? Yeah, because we had NashCon in August, so we didn't do one. So
Yeah, you did.
I did 9 of our local ones. And then as far as majors, I did NashCon, RGS, and I went up to Rob's up in DC, I think Labor Day weekend. And then I'm not playing next weekend at March on Music City because, as everyone knows now, I am the TO, yeah. So that's what this year, literally from January to January, I played in 12 tournaments. So
Hey, that's a good thing, man. I mean, that's one of the things I won't lie. I like how you guys, your Nashville group has. That's one of the advantages, I guess, to being around a big city is you can find and get folks, and even if you lose a guy or two, like I know you guys lost Austin this year, you pick up a replacement one or two, so you keep the community going, and it's cool to see you guys having your little like, especially like your little escalation ones, and then the fantasy fellowship one. That stuff's like, I'd love to be able to do something like that. So
I need to get a list of all those so I can show my wife when she says I do it too much to be like this guy right here.
Yeah, DC was the rough one, man. That was
How
like
far is that for you?
a 12-hour drive.
Yeesh.
Ooh,
Yeah, just to play this game.
Well, I say
I
that.
once did that for a girl, but I didn't do it for a game. So.
I say yeesh to 12 hours, but I went up to Atlantic City with Mike the weekend after I did Ringo South. So I TO'd Ringo South, then I went and played in Atlantic City. So Atlantic City from where I live is supposed to be 10.5-hour drive. I left at 6 a.m. No, it was early. I think it was like 5:30 a.m. from my house to try and avoid traffic. We didn't get to the damn hotel in Atlantic City until 8:30 p.m. because of traffic. So what should have been a 10.5-hour drive, which honestly driving is easy to me, turned into like 15 hours. It was ridiculous.
I remember you telling me about that.
Yeah, but Northerners can't drive. They say Southerners can't drive. Nobody can drive. You know what? Nobody can drive. I'm the only one who
Preach.
can drive.
I mean, I drive. I don't know how to, but I do it anyway.
Well, my spotless
Yeah,
driving record says I'm okay.
I refuse to comment on Evan's drive.
Yeah, Lee's experienced it. You only almost died one time, and it was only half my fault. Stop.
But did you? But did you?
Okay, no, it was 100% my fault. So we're driving. I'm not paying attention. We're locked in a riveting conversation. I almost ran a red light and T-boned a Ford F-150. Whatever, it's fine. That's the exception to the rule, okay? 99.99% of the time, I don't almost die. Lee just so happened to be part of the 0.01% where I almost die.
Fair enough. Let's just all be honest. We've definitely done something driving and been like, oh shit, I shouldn't have done that. Did that the
Most
other
days.
day. You said you ran a red light? Or
No, almost. If I would have ran the red light, there would have been a grievous accident.
I totally ran a red light. Like,
Evan's truck is a tank. So I think we'd have been okay, but
Oh yeah, 30-year-old Chevy, we'd have been fine. The other dude would have been at least injured.
Yeah, don't feel bad. I ran a red light like a month ago. I was just cruising down the back road. The wife and I are talking on our one day that we see each other during the week. And she's like, are you going to stop? And I look up and it's a red light as I go past it. And I'm like, oh, well, this is why I live in the country.
That's basically what Lee did. Yeah, Lee was just like, hey, and I looked up and I was like, so, I mean, yeah, Lee said that and I just started making Nazgul noises.
You just used 3 months worth of a brake pad tread in the space of 2 seconds as you slam on the brake.
Exactly.
Nothing wrong with that at all. They're just a little spongy.
Mental image that just went through my head was hilarious.
The Witch King slamming on his brakes in a 1988 Chevy.
Oh, Lord.
It's me.
Kevin, what do you got for us? I think you probably did for the most part everything else. Well, what armies? I think you guys started everything this year, so I guess everything that you guys started this year, Evan and Kevin, is something that you've probably played in these events.
Yeah. So obviously the Fantasy Fellowship was a Fantasy Fellowship. And then I brought Minas Tirith to a couple events. And one of them, Evan and me fought for the wooden spoon. And the other one, I was middle of the pack. And then, how many?
Yeah, you got douchebag.
You have gone to one less than me, so you've done 11.
I've been to all the same ones that Evan's been to, except for DC. And yeah, I kind of went through a rotation of Minas Tirith and Rohan with Army of Thror sprinkled in here and there.
I remember seeing some of your pictures because I follow you on Instagram. Your pictures of your Army of Thor that you were working with.
Yeah.
So Instagram
Yeah, so-
shout-outs. We have Kevin, who is the what are you, Kevin? Something Arda. Chaos? No.
Conquer Arda.
Conquer Arda. And then, of course, we have Lee, who is Tater the Painter.
Mhm.
Right? I got
Yes.
that? Yep. And then Mike is Middle Earth Mike. And then I think that's everybody.
I have nothing, so
Yeah. Don't feel bad.
Me neither.
I don't really use. I only get on Instagram just to see other people's stuff. I don't really post anything
Mhm.
myself.
I've never posted.
So yeah. So it sounds like Evan, did you did you drive all the way to DC on your own?
Absolutely not. No, it was. I wouldn't have. That would have been an airplane trip if no one else could have gone.
Understandable.
I drove up with. Well, I rode up with Ezra Wood and Ian Terrell.
That's right. Okay, yeah, I remember that now. Yeah.
And we
Right,
actually recorded a
So-
podcast on the way up.
Yes, I
In the
listened to
car.
that.
Yeah.
I
And it
don't know
actually
why.
went surprisingly well.
See, this is why I say, I joke about being old, but I remember listening to that and seeing that posted and talked about, and yet I still
Yeah.
forgot. It's the gray hair.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. I did not go alone. If that was alone, that would have been probably a 2-hour flight instead of a 12-hour drive because I would have flown.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that a lot. Well, what about best finishes at these events? It sounds like Lee has finally podiumed. So, I mean, Lee, let's talk about the best and the worst of these finishes.
Yeah, the last one was definitely best. Got third. Well, I've been playing 3 or 4 years, and it's my first time getting in the top 3. So yeah, I'm pretty bad. It takes a really busted Legion to get me podium.
No, you finally you paid all your dues. Your dues finally came in.
Yeah, got at least one wooden spoon this year at RGS.
And also
Yeah.
best display board.
Yeah, and had a couple of good painting awards and modeling stuff. And I don't win best sportsman anymore. Once Ezra joined our group, he kind of laid claim to best sport.
Ezra, I love Ezra. He doesn't know how to not smile. Every time I see him, he's always got a smile on his face.
Oh my God, the tournament last weekend, I was just murdering his elves, and he's just over there smiling and awesome. And I was like, stop, you're
Ezra.
dying.
Ezra, be mad!
Okay, all right. So
Be mad!
this is going to be off topic. So Josh, you're going to have to pull us in. But any of you guys Scrubs fans? Like the TV show
The
Scrubs?
TV show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, do you guys
No.
remember the episode? Okay, so for those who like it and those who have not, there's an episode where Dick Van Dyke came in. And
I love Dick Van Dyke.
yeah, he was mentoring what's his name? JD. He was mentoring JD, and there's a part where JD betrays him, and there's a cutaway scene in his head because he does all those cutaway scenes in his head. And Dick Van Dyke's character is so nice, and he's just like, "Here, son, here, take this knife. It goes right here in the middle of my back. Just slam it into my back right here." And he does it, and he's like, "Thanks." And he falls over dead with a smile on his face. That's Ezra when it comes to MESBG. Nicest guy, doesn't care if he's losing, but he can literally be, like you guys said, he can literally be dead, but everybody is still cheering him on, or he's cheering you on as you kill him.
Correct.
Are we back in? Okay.
Yeah, you're good.
Something weird happened over here.
We momentarily lost connection.
I don't know that we well, I didn't hear anyone talking, so yeah, I guess we probably big lost it. But yeah, we're back.
You bounced in and out. I just played over it. I just kept telling my story. basically, I was just comparing Ezra to that. He like you said, he will cheer you on as you table him, and with a smile the whole time, and then win the best sportsman for it because he's like the nicest guy. All right, so who's next? Sai, what about you? How was your best and worst for this year?
Worst was at your place. At your place, I finished like I don't know how many people we had. What 20, 22?
24.
Yeah, I finished I think like 19th.
It
And
could
the
have been 24, so that's not that bad.
no,
No, 23rd's the worst. At least you get an award for finishing.
and then the best was the first one we had at Fayetteville. I finished second in that one.
You podium, so good podium then. Nice.
Yeah, I've seen the podium here at Fayetteville. I mean, last one I took Rivendell to and I podiumed. So,
Hey, Rivendell's competitive if you build it right and you play it right.
but we don't do best painted out here in Fayetteville anymore because only one person wins all the time.
You?
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
So we don't do that. I told him, I said, don't do that anymore. It's not competitive out here for that.
Well, you do have a lot of new
Yeah.
players, and then folks who don't really care so much for painting, from those who I've talked to.
Mm.
So I can understand.
Yeah. Some of them paint with a Q-tip. So yeah.
Don't insult me. That's how I started painting.
No. I shouldn't say that because everybody has to start somewhere, and if it's yours and you're happy with it, more power to you.
I'll be honest. When I first started playing eons ago, I didn't even bother painting. I honestly just liked the plain gray models. I was like, I don't want to put paint on this. It'll completely ruin what they look like. And yeah. And then I was that guy who made fun of my friend for actually attempting to paint while I was playing with base gray models and he was playing with Q-tip painted models.
Yep.
But so, who we would go to? Mike. Mike, how about you? You went to a lot, like you said. What were your best and worst?
Well, we can start off with the worst, I guess, which would have been Chad's event. There's a little bit of a backstory to it. I had drove up from Orlando literally that morning.
Yeah,
I
at
don't even
midnight
remember
you
how
left.
long
You
we
said.
Yeah, it was disgusting what time I left. And got to your house, and I literally hopped in the car, and away we went. So I was tired and fatigued, and then I had a moonwalk on me, and I just was too dumb to even catch it. So yeah, Moonmix can't moonwalk. But the best event, and probably my most proud moment, was at Atlantic City Open. They didn't do podiums, but I got the equivalent of what would have been second place. Alisher and I played for top table, and yeah, he completely destroyed me. But before that, man, it was good
That's
times.
what he do.
Yeah, that's what he'll do. Shout out Alisher if you're listening to this.
I
Holy
doubt
buddy.
it, but yeah. Yeah, they didn't do a top 1, 2, 3. They did a best overall, which was actually a combination of your scoring as well as a painting scoring, and then I think there was like a character scoring for like sportsmanship included as well. I can't remember, but they had a top overall general, and then they had the best of the rest, and it was like the best good and the best evil. And I know you got the best evil,
Right.
and the top
Best evil
guy.
with Angmar. Yep.
Yeah, the top guy was playing a good army, so yeah, you would have gotten second or third or whatever. It would have been a podium finish for you anyway. Either way.
Yeah, I was definitely proud of that, especially at a major event that they're trying to do with the whole frontline gaming system. And I also got a lead for next year, going to be TOing LBO, so that'll be cool.
There was a good community. I liked them. I had fun. Played two people. Actually three people because Mike, that was your first time playing each other. So it was. I talk about how horrendous the drive was, but I would definitely go again. just for the fact that I actually had a hell of a lot of fun time hanging out at the casino beforehand.
Yeah, I taught you how to play blackjack.
Hey, you know, I was winning I was up like $300 at one point.
Yeah, there you go.
Just to end up going bankrupt. So, Josh, can you hear us now?
Yes, I had a
Yay,
little
you're here.
malfunction, but I'm back.
Don't feel bad. It's 10 o'clock on a Saturday night. There's probably a lot of people on, so bandwidth is probably low everywhere. So how was your best and worst for this year for events?
The best was doubles. Me and Richie getting second place with Army of Thor. Was pretty happy with that.
And
Other than me playing solo, I probably only got maybe 5th or 6th out of 20s or so's as my solo games. I know RGS with Baradur I did pretty good. It was 2 out of 3 wins. And
you were really close to podium at RGS. I think you may have been 4th or 5th. You and Richie were both really close. If one of you was 4th, one of you was 5th, one of you was 5th, one of you was 6th, something like that. You guys both did really good at RGS.
yeah, and then of Wolves, I again 2 major wins, 1 loss. Got me up there in the 5 or 6 range.
Well, you were playing there for top table at the end, but you went against who's the guy down there by you, Matt? What's his
Yeah.
last name?
Matt, yeah.
Yeah.
Mr. I'm going to shoot you with a million teeth weapons. Yeah, don't even get me started on that.
No, and I was happy with the way it went, and then Slugfest was 6 out of 16 or 20 or so. So I mean, it's been a pretty consistent year solo wise.
I want to say, like, I think the fact you and Richie got second at the doubles is really cool.
We were confused there at first because we're sitting there like he's calling off the names and everything, and we're like, he gets to the top 3, and I look at Richie, I'm like, he didn't call our name. It's like, oh crap, did he forget us?
I think it's really great that you guys got that because doubles is. I've played one doubles event, and it's one of those things where you would think that with 2 minds going at it, you would do better, but it actually tends to lead to more of a lot of indecision because one person has this idea and the second player or their teammate is like, I don't know. So you really got to trust your teammate to make the right move. And like, it's hard because you got to have somebody who's like the leader. Even with 2 people, one of them's got to take the lead and one of them's got to be a little more submissive. You know, they got to be able to like assert themselves for when they need to make a play, but then you also got to be able to like follow your teammate. So the fact that you got second, that's pretty damn good, man. I think that's pretty big.
Yeah, and Army of Thor helped. What was that?
Maybe I'm just crazy.
No, I mean you are, but that's not what
Hey,
it doesn't
don't
have
tell me
anything
what
to
I
do
already
here.
know.
So, but the with the doubles, Army of Thor helped because dwarves with high defense, having your own little 400-point army. Our goal was pretty much like if both of their halves target one of our halves, it has to hold out long enough for the other half to get there. That was pretty much our mentality for it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's still a good army, but definitely you guys had because you, Richie, and I were definitely talking about it well up going into that. So, yeah.
And Richie, I know. I mean, if he was here, I know he got 3rd place at Slugfest. So he's podiumed twice this year. So he's definitely loving his Moria right now.
Yeah, he's gotten very good with them. And by the way, my psychiatrist is going to call you on Monday and tell you to stop being a jerk.
I mean, if I take the call.
Fair enough. We already know I'm crazy. He said no one else is supposed to tell me. I'm the only one who is. All right. Evan, Kevin, Kevin, who wants to go next?
I'll go. So, worst was the escalation tournament, where I said before Evan and me were fighting over the wooden spoon. Minas Tirith versus Mordor, and I handedly walked away with that one just because we played pretty much every weekend, and that was when we were both playing those armies religiously. So I had loads of practice against that army. So
I'm
second to
more-
last. What's that?
I said he couldn't beat my though.
No, I couldn't. So yeah, that was my worst. And then my best was at Adam's event, the Dragon Slayer one. Army of Thror. I went up against, I think I was ranked second, and then I went up against Ian and lost. But luckily, even with the loss, I didn't drop down far enough, so I got third with that. Everything else, I just kind of hang around like 50% mark, like right middle of the pack. I think at RGS I was below, but everything else I'm like right in the middle. I'm not that good at this game.
You and me both, bro. You and me both.
Yep, preaching.
I mean, my win-loss record at events this year is pretty 50-50, if I'm being honest. I went 2-1 of Wolves and Shattered Shields, but my 2 wins were minor. I went 1-2 at Atlantic City Open. I went 1-2 at the the Asheville event. So I mean, that right there puts me like below 50%. So I feel you.
Yeah. I think I forgot what month it was, but it was game 1 of the tournament, and I could not. I rolled a single 6 the entire game. Besides that, it was a 4 high. So
I love those games.
that was how that tournament went.
Hey Josh, wasn't that kind of sounds like how you're in my game when we did the battle report. You rolled 6s with Sauron, but everybody else just seemed to roll like a 3 high.
Yeah, my Numenorians were not performing where the way they needed to, especially against elves, where it's just like, oh look, you rolled a 5 or a 6. I'm like, oh, all right, cool.
All right, Evan, the guy who has the self-proclaimed chump and has a podcast for it in the Chump in the East. What were your best and worsts?
So I peaked at RGS.
He's an early
Second
peaker.
place. Yeah, peaked at RGS in June. DC wasn't too bad. I was Ian and Ezra aren't here. They'd remember better than me. I got
Had thoughts since then.
yeah, I've slept several times since then. So I think I got like 15th out of I think like 32 or something. So that's
You did better than that, man. I think you were in top 10.
okay. He was a judge. I trust him. I did better than that. So that was a decent one. Then other than that, it's generally been either middle of the pack or I've got I think 6 wooden spoons now. So yeah, I can't decide if I suck or not. Apparently, I go to some big tournaments and I do really good, and then I go to small tournaments and it's like I'm playing for the first time. So.
Well, those little ones are practice ones for the big ones, so you can do good at the big ones.
Yeah, exactly. I do good at the right times, and by good I mean mediocre.
No.
Except RGS, that was a good one.
Yeah, what did you get at RGS? Come on now, you kind of glossed over that.
Second place.
He says second place like a defeated
Doing
child.
it terribly.
Yeah, I don't feel too bad about it because I did get second place behind like a really good player. So.
Well, it's funny because the army you played was pretty much the exact same army that the first place player
Yep,
played.
there was like one thing different.
Yeah.
Wasn't it just Bolg and Azog?
No, he had Bolg too.
Oh.
He had less hunter works. He had more wargs.
Oh, okay.
Running around, yeah. So that was.
I think he took an unnamed captain, and I think you had all named heroes.
I had all named heroes. Yeah, I had all of them, but Azog. I had Yazneg, Fimble, Narzug, and Bolg.
He dropped Yazneg, I want to say, and took a no-name captain on a warg. That way he could have more.
I just couldn't pass up the lance because I had him. He was with like Well,
Maybe
no,
the
there was
Narzug.
nobody mounted. But I didn't want to go without the lance, which it's a good thing I didn't, because I needed that lance in combat with Evan Botkin's Goat Riders in game 1.
Yeah, I think
So
it must have been Narzug then, the guy who's the bowman, not the lance guy, because I think he had the lance makes sense. Again, +1 to wound is nothing to laugh at. So I think he dropped the Narzug, which is the shooter.
this like did pretty good for me too. He killed Dane's pig round 1 or turn 1. Yeah, but I peaked at RGS, second place.
You'll do good next. You'll do good at another one. I promise. I'm sure it will happen.
Yeah, I've got to like defend. I have to go to RGS now. Even if I didn't want to go back to North Carolina, I have to, because I have to defend my good name.
Well, you'll have to wait till 2023 to do that.
That'll be okay. Time to practice.
There will be no RGS in 2022.
You're in RGS.
What's that?
I said you're in RGS.
A rolling gas stupid head? Yeah, sure. I don't know. I can't think of something.
A royal gentleman, sir.
I wish I was a royal gentleman. Actually, no,
Don't
I
we
really
all?
don't. Then I'd have to be British.
Maybe if you were British, you could have your pre-order sooner.
Oh, that's a
You can
good
just go
one.
to the store and buy it.
That's a good one. All right, I want to be British now. I shouldn't make fun of the British guys because all the people who watch this are mostly British people, and they're probably thinking, "Well, fuck you, I'm unsubscribing." I love you
No,
guys.
but probably somebody that works at Games Workshop is listening to this, and he's like, "All right, you fucking pricks, how about we fuck up your order again?"
They're probably like silly.
Your orders denied.
All right, so
Mhm.
how many times? I think this is the 4th time we've gotten onto this topic now.
Anyway, so yeah, peaked at RGS, won 6 wooden spoons, and performed passably in DC. Other than that, it's just been meh.
Well, I mean, at least you got a good to go to bad. I mean, hey, look, you're following in Lee's footsteps, and then you surpassed him quickly.
That's what Richie did with me.
But I have caught back up.
Now you both
Okay,
have a
just
podium.
for clarification, I did get second place.
Yeah, I know. I agree with you.
No, just no, I'm telling Lee because he said he caught up. You got third place. I got second
Oh,
place.
snap.
Hey.
Shots
Ooh.
fired.
Yeah, the podium. It's a
Ooh,
podium.
bang.
Pulls the pin,
I
throws the grenade.
You gonna let him
But
get
I
away
did
with that,
beat
Lee?
you. I beat you to claim that third place, though. So
Yeah.
Ooh.
Joke's on Lee. I found out where he was at in the standings and threw the game.
Oh, that's even worse.
No, actually, full disclosure, I knew how to win that game. I just didn't want to do it because I thought that I could podium if I literally beat the dog piss out of him. Like, the only way I was going to get to podium is if I just shattered his entire existence with that Legion. So I couldn't win the way that would have just won it for me. I needed to, I needed to squash him. So I just went in, closed in early. Terrible idea. I knew it was probably going to be a terrible idea. I didn't know how terrible of an idea it was going to be. But there were ways for me to win that game that I didn't want to do because sometimes, and I said this at RGS, you got to risk it for the biscuit. I was going for a podium. It did not pay off.
Should have done it.
I was bested.
I would have thrown friendship aside and completely squished him.
I tried to. I couldn't.
Oh, so he is truly caught up with you because he did beat. So you went for it and he just beat you outright. Okay. So yes, Lee has surpassed you then.
I wait for the day that you have to play that Legion, Jason. Like, against it. Not with it.
I have
Against it.
I have no fear because I highly doubt I will be playing it anytime soon.
Well, live in fear. Because the day you do play with it, you are going to have possibly the least fun you've ever had on a tabletop.
No, I've played against a pretty shitty 40k type army before, and it literally made me want to.
It was bad.
Quit.
It was so bad.
And I'm not going to live in fear because that's what everybody's done for the last year and a half who doesn't have a brain. So I don't believe in living in fear.
And topic change.
Yep.
Well, I'm not even gonna bother telling about like how my year went because I didn't really go to anything. Although I did try and take last place from Mike until he decided he wanted to just put his Immerhill in front of me, and I went and smashed it.
You did well, man. You were a champion that day.
Yeah. I wanted that wooden spoon. Not only did you then
That's
take the
good,
wooden
man.
spoon from me, you also went and took best painted as well. So I went home empty-handed. You went home with 2 awards.
That's usually my goal for any event if I'm playing is get best painted.
Best painted's normally the only thing I hope for because I know I'm not going to play good enough to podium. So it's like, can I go home with something?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Well,
same
That's why I
here.
raffle tickets.
I'm gonna.
Why Kevin just buy his raffle ticket?
I'm not good enough to podium, and I'm not good enough painter to win best painted, so I just play raffle.
The new joke in the Nashville group. So I've won best painted evil and good now. I'm just done painting. I've done it. So I'm just not going to paint anymore.
well, you should definitely paint for Battle of Great Armies because if you do somehow come back to North Carolina, defend your title and maybe rise above it to first. If you don't have a painted army, you can't podium. That is something I put in there.
Well, the good news is the only thing that I would be playing with that isn't painted is something I'm excited to paint. So we're good there. Everything else I might bring is already painted.
That helps. That definitely helps. Yeah. Well, all joking aside.
I'm done coming to North Carolina if Mike is there though, because that I like going for best painted too.
That's why I like the best painted good and evil system, because then as long as the super good painter isn't playing evil, because that's generally what I play, then I've still got a chance.
Well,
Yeah, I mean, I can get down with that too, man. The for both sides.
that's why I've adopted it.
That's why I like that Lee's been playing good almost exclusively for the last couple months, because it's like, okay, cool. I might win this time because Lee's not playing with his Mordor. Dope.
Hey, Lee's a good. Look at it this way: if you go to an event and Lee is there and Mike is there, you know that you're gonna have tough competition right there, no matter what happens. You're
They need
even
them
worse
both
off if
good.
you go to one and they're both playing. One of them's playing good, one of them's playing evil.
Yeah, that's why I need them both to play good. The thing.
Well, I thought I was good for RGS because we both took Mordor at Great Battles, and I thought, well, maybe he'll take Mordor again. Nope, he had to bring good too.
Yeah, I had to have one last raw. You know, it didn't end up sticking that way, but for my fiefdoms.
Well, you got the best display board, which is another one that I started doing because I think people who bring display boards, they should definitely get something, some sort of like.
It
hey,
was sick. It was sick.
Oh,
Sorry,
just like my Vanquisher's display board.
I just bring display boards and
Oh
sell them.
no.
That's all I do.
Yeah, I remember you sold yours to Mike, and he
To
had
me.
it at
Yep.
at Atlanta City Open.
Dude, I carry that around everywhere now. Everywhere.
Sweet.
That thing was best thing I've ever bought.
I made some new ones too. They you can clip the things in the back and change them out so you have the same. You can do it for dwarves or elves or anything. Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
Bring some of those to February. I might buy some.
February. Oh, where are we going in February?
That's
Even
Yeah.
if I'm running.
Oh shoot, I got a box for you too. Bam.
Yes, I actually forgot about that right up until you were like, wait, February, where am I going? And then I'm like, wait a minute, you got a box for me.
Yeah, it's sitting right here. Yep.
box. I gotta go in that again.
I mean,
Yeah.
hey, I haven't
Oh,
locked down the venue yet, just because I'm not sure who all is coming. I put out a feeler, and I had like 15 people be like, yeah, I'm coming, outside of like the 15 who already had committed. So I'm like, okay, I'll get like 30 folks, sweet. And then I put it out there and made it official for like everybody, and nobody signed up. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't want to go like pay $1,000 for a venue area, and then nobody fucking comes. So right now, though, I'm looking at using the VFW here in Lincolnton because they've got a really big room that's like $500.
There you go.
Plus, I can, when I go there and ask them to rent it, I can sign up and become part of the VFW since I'm eligible.
No, I'll probably, if I come, I'll probably ride with Matt. But Matt's is up in the air because he just became a first lieutenant and he's a yes man to the Army. So
Yeah.
Congrats, him.
Butter bar.
yeah,
Oh, no.
he's no longer a butter bar.
No. First lieutenant. My bad. Yeah, he moved up from. No, butter bars are usually the yes men. Usually, once they put on
No.
first lieutenant, for us it's
Matt's
lieutenant junior grade.
Matt's a really good guy. He's
Should
So it'll be his first tournament, I think.
up here. He's played
Yeah,
in he's played in Fayetteville.
Yeah. No, did he? No, I think he backed out because the Army had him going somewhere.
No, I played him in Fayetteville.
Did you?
Yeah. When I
Jesus.
came to Fayetteville in February or January?
It was February.
It's February.
Yeah, because Mike, you were gonna go, but then your truck broke. Yeah, I went there
Yep.
in February, and that's when I won with my Corsairs. I took first place, and I played him round 1. I think
Yep.
I went from another one of those games where I went from like losing to winning. It actually switched, and I think he lost like a major loss to me, but then ended up taking home like second or third.
I think didn't I take I think I took second in that one.
Okay, he took third. Yeah, you took second. That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, because I beat Richie it was a massive victory. And that's
Yeah.
what put me in second place.
Yeah, I got because I had 3 majors. The first round was against Matt. Second round was against Ray, and then third round was against Andrew.
Yeah, I never got to play you. I've never played you.
Yeah, you have. You played me when I played my Rohan
Did I?
against your Mordor.
Oh yeah, I got destroyed, didn't I?
Rohan rolled over you.
Dice rolling was real bad. I remember that now.
That's
Yeah.
when my ridiculous strength 2 bows were killing your defense 6 guys, and I was just like, "What
Yeah.
the hell? I've never done this good shooting."
Yeah, I think I lost 6 Morgul Knights in one turn.
Yeah, something like that. So.
Yeah.
Hey Jason,
Yes.
I have got to. Hang on, we got something on this.
Somebody just
Right.
came in.
Okay.
No, that was still total.
Yeah, y'all got feedback. You good now?
Maybe. Okay.
Okay, yeah, we're good now. Hey, I work early, so I have got to head out. Kevin is on his own though, so he will remain, and I've got to go home, get a shower, and go sleepy nights because adulthood is miserable. So
Preach.
thank you for having me.
Do you have a quick 2 minutes to tell us about any of your future projects? Or
Yeah,
future
sure.
things?
I can run through the last 2 questions or 3 questions?
Yeah, just
Just one.
What are you looking
Last
forward
one.
to, and what are your plans for 2022? What, like events? Are you trying to go to like a certain number of events? What armies do you want to try out? Just tell us about your future. What's 2022
Yeah.
looking like for you?
I'm probably gonna try some of the Mordor Legendary Legions because I've never played with them, and I'm gonna get back into Mordor before too long because I've been pretty exclusively either Azog's Hunters or Dol Guldur for the past couple months. So I'm gonna start messing around with Mordor again a little bit. Maybe get some of the less than a handful of models for Mordor that I don't have. Fool around with that a little bit. The Secret Army, which I've got to be pretty hush hush about. I plan on playing with that a little bit. I'm probably going to fool around with a little more alliance stuff. The only alliance I've ever really done, and it was just for a friendly game, was like a Storming Minas Tirith alliance with the Easterlings and Morannon Orcs, led by the Witch King. Amdur was in there running around, so that was pretty neat. Try to win a little bit more is something I think I'm going to do in 2022.
That is a very good
and just
goal.
play a little smarter which generally isn't too much of a problem. I've gotten competent enough where I make pretty good decisions. List building mostly with like armies like Mordor, like the big armies with a ton of options. It seems like on its face, it seems like something with more options is better and you can just put anything together and do whatever you want. That is not the case. If you put a bunch of stuff together that doesn't work together, you're just going to get absolutely stomped because you have all these good things that have synergies with other stuff that you can't use because you left something else out of the list. So with something big like Mordor, it's best to actually try some stuff out, pay attention to synergies, how stuff works together. Now lists like Azog's Hunters and stuff like that, like there's different stuff you can play with. Like you can try mixed arms with mounted and non-mounted. You can do all mounted, you can do all non-mounted, which is generally what I do, or just mounted heroes. There's some decision making as far as that, but it's way less than a list like Mordor or something like that with all those options, because there's just more stuff to choose from in Mordor. So it's easier to put together a list that looks good that is actually atrocious because none of the stuff you put in the list works together.
Yeah, Mordor.
So that's something that I plan on paying a little bit more attention to once I delve back into Mordor. Maybe play with some alliances. I'm not the biggest fan of them just because I just like pure lists. Like, here's my thing. This is what it is. It's less stuff to keep track of, but it's a thing that I want to do just to add some like lore and some flavor to my stuff so that it's not just boring, just, hey, this is my list. Now that I'm going into my second year of this, I think it'd be better if I just branch out a little bit, do some stuff I don't normally do. That's why I'm starting to get into the Legendary Legions a little bit, just because they're still not something that I necessarily like. Like, they're neat, but I've said it before, it's just like, they're just kind of whatever. It helps now that there's ones that I want to play with. I do think it would be cool to play with the Vanquishers after it gets nerfed, for the love of God, please. And then Azog's finally got one. That's something I play with a lot. And then the Necromancer has one. That's something I play with a lot. And then Mirkwood is something I don't play with a lot, but I own all the models for it, so I can do that one. But that's most of the reason that I'm branching out into the Legions a little bit now, is because there's ones that I actually want to play with. Like, there's some decent ones from the other books, like the Black Riders seems fun, and like the Black Gate Opens is cool, but it was just nothing I really jived with as much as I jive with two of the new ones. So that's kind of what's caused that branching out a little bit. But yeah, as far as events, I'll probably TO a little bit again next year, because I mean, March is still 2021, so that doesn't count for 2022, obviously. But I'll probably TO a little bit next year, especially once I've got my feet under me with it. I've done it once and I know what the hell I'm doing. I primarily still do plan on playing though. So I want to go to Atlanta for some. I know there's a group in Kansas City that some of our guys go to. I want to go to some there. I'll go back up to DC. Basically anywhere I hear that has a tournament that I think interests me and I can make it, I would like to go to. I'm hoping, and this is bold because, again, adulthood is misery.
Yes, it is.
I would like to go to a tournament in the UK at some point, just to get my teeth kicked in and see what's up and just see how they play over there and stuff like that. I think that would be neat. But yeah, I don't plan on slowing down the tournaments at all. At a minimum, it'll be the same as this year with basically one a month.
And you can
ideally though.
I mean, you feel that easily just with your guys doing your league events. They're doing them once a month, which is great.
Yeah, exactly. Let alone the traveling that I know Atlanta's only like 3 hours away, so I plan on knocking that drive out a couple times, play with those dudes down there. Yeah, I don't plan on slowing down any. A little bit of podcast growth would be nice. I know recently I've been so busy, just between class, a new job, and then I moved, that it's just been absolutely crazy. Haven't got to record much. I know here shortly I'll get back in the groove, start recording stuff again, and get everything figured out. But yeah, some podcast growth, some more travel would be nice.
Hurry up with the podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, I'm always willing to get on there and talk about how crappy little knowledge I know.
Yeah. But yeah, that's basically what I've gotten to shoot. Work on Azog's Legion a little bit, and the big time secret army. I've got some Merc Mirkwood stuff I need to get to, like armored Mirkwood, not the Rangers, like the actual like army.
Thranduil's
That should
Hall,
be
yeah.
fun. Yeah, like actual Thranduil's halls, not just the Rangers. I'm sure there's some other stuff I'll run into at some point that I want to do. I know Goblin Town sounds fun. I've slowed down a little bit though, just because of how much I've done in the last year. I don't want to get like 2 to 3 years into hobbying, and I've just got every army, and I don't get to paint anymore. So
with that.
exactly.
Well, you
And
do like I do. You sell an army, leave it alone for a while, and then after 8 months, come back to it, and then you can repaint it and rebuild it.
I would lose my mind. But dude, if I did that with Mordor, I've got 70 Mordor orcs painted, and that was just tedious. But yeah, so that's basically all I've got planned coming up. Before I get out of here, though, I will talk a little bit about March on Music City for anyone who's listening that might want to come. I know we recently lost 2 participants to, once again, adulthood is misery.
Yeah, totally.
So I think we have about 10 spots still open out of the 26. It is July. It is. It's not in July. It is not in July. If you come to Nashville in July, I'll play with you, but it's not March on Music City. Yeah, you can come to the event in July, but it's not going to be March on Music City. March on Music City is going to be held this year, December 4th and 5th at Ezel Center at Lipscomb University. That's where I'm a student. I worked with Veterans Services to get a space for the event on campus. It's going to be real nice. It's going to be fun. I know Robert Loader's coming down to help with the TOing. There's going to be countless dudes there that have TO'd events. I know Mike's coming down. So it's not like first time TO doesn't have help, has no idea what he's doing, and everything's going to be bad. It's also just math. So I have a calculator on my phone. I think I'll be all right. But yeah, December 4th and 5th, Nashville, Tennessee. Pay in $30. You're good to go. You can contact me through my Facebook page, just Evan Zakovic, EvanZacovic. If you don't want to do all of that work, you can just look up March on Music City 2021. It's a picture of the fiery Nazgul of Dol Guldur, and click on that. You'll see all my posts. You can get in contact with me that way, and we'll get you on the list. Yeah, the tournament packet has been posted to several different group sites throughout the U.S. It's also on the what is it, ASBGA? Yeah, it's on ASBGA page. So you can get in touch with the tournament packet that way. If you want in, that'll tell you how to do it. And then after that, write your 750 point list, show up. We're going to get weird. The prize support's pretty good. As we've discussed today, though, they stressing me out. But as far as prizes, there's a bunch of stuff. There's the Keeper of the Dungeons, the Necromancer, some Hunter Orcs. And then there's Follow the Necromancer book in there, just some random stuff that I can't remember because I just put it all in a box and have since forgotten. But there's some high dollar stuff too. The Nazgul of Dol Guldur are a raffle prize, MSRP 165. So you can spend not a lot of money and get a $165 set of 9 models. The other high priced one is the Champions of Erebor.
Yeah, that's
so that one's sitting at about, I think, $130. So you could potentially spend $3 on one raffle ticket and get either a $165 or $130 set of models. So
Well, John's going to win the Nazgul for me so I can chop them up for my display board.
it wouldn't even make sense to chop. At what point did they get chopped up? Anyway, hey, if that's what you want to do with the 165, if that's what you want to do with the $165 models, that's a you thing. But it's the prize support's going to be really good. Lee, unfortunately, will not be there. Big sad. I know Austin also cannot come. Big sad. They will be dearly missed, but a lot of guys from the Nashville group are going to be there. Like I said, Mike's coming down. Robert Loader's coming down. He's not playing, but he will be there. We got some guys coming up from Atlanta. We got some guys coming from Chicago. We got guys coming from all over the place. It's going to be an enormous amount of fun. 750 points. Like I said, December 4th and 5th. That's basic. I've basically said my piece on it, but it's going to be awesome. I can't wait. I'm actually horrified because it's in a week and I'm a tournament organizer and it's a major. So I'm just going to wear a diaper and piss myself continually for 2 to 3 days. But Yeah, it's going to be fun. So if you want to get involved, you can look on the ASBGA. They've got, I've posted the event there. Kevin posted the tournament packet there. We got a bunch of stuff going on. So it shouldn't be too hard for you to find it. And then you can message me. I'll tell you how to pay in. You pay in, then all you got to do is show up.
Sounds good.
And that is it. Finn, the chump has said what the chump needed to say. So
Well, thank you, Evan, for taking time to be here.
you're
Appreciate
welcome. It is my pleasure.
No, it's my pleasure having you. You're giving me more
It's
content.
my pleasure. It's my pleasure you having me.
No, it's
You having
no.
pleasure.
Wow.
Pleasure from me that you have. This is just going off the
I
rails.
can tell he's an Army guy. He's
My
getting
pleasure
gay.
when it's over.
There's pleasure, and it's coming from me and you, and quite possibly Lee and Mike also. I don't know.
Look, bro,
You
I'm a
guys
Navy
need to
guy.
get
You got to go
enrolled.
find a Marine if you want to get into that gay stuff. That's where you're going now. That's just weird.
Wait. No, not that one. Yeah. It was good talking to you guys though, and I'll see some of you March, and I'll see some of you
February.
probably February. So
Yeah, Secret Army in February. That's what I'm looking forward to now.
Secret Army February. I'm just glad I gave you guys something to twiddle your thumbs and wait for in eagerness.
Well, I don't have to worry about it too much since I'm not playing. I just get to laugh at whoever. Actually, you know what? I look forward to seeing it when you submit it to me here, like 5 weeks or so.
Yeah, you'll know before the day of, so you're good to go.
And I will accidentally disclose it to everybody on Facebook. Unless I'm in
Honestly,
jail.
that's okay. As long as it's painted and ready to play and there's some surprise factor going on, we're good. I don't mind.
Oh, you'll be fine. I'll
For
probably
those
be
of
in
you
Facebook
painting
jail.
guys, I'm bringing Gondor. So if you want to go for evil, go for it.
Baby!
No, evil.
So you're saying there's a chance. But yeah, I'm going to head out, guys.
Evil.
All right, Evan.
Time
Take
to
it easy.
shelve my Mirkwood.
All right.
Kevin.
I think he had to transfer over.
Well, he was in.
Yeah, we're trying to figure out the transfer of power from my computer to his. And by power, I mean microphone.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'll just go ahead and we'll jump over to Josh. We'll do Josh while Kevin's figuring that out. Josh, what are you looking forward to in 2022? What are your plans?
I want my dwarves. I want my source book. I want it now.
I want it all, and I want it now. Isn't that a song?
Yes, it is.
I don't remember what song.
I don't ask me. I'm
Usually
terrible
it was
with music.
commercial. Anyway, so dwarves, yes. On topic.
The Defense of Erebor, Defense in the North book that was announced. I'm just twiddling my thumbs, putting money aside, waiting for it to come out so I can finish my
Salivating over it.
Erebor Reclaimed.
Now, I have a question, not to interrupt you. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Well, I am
No, you're good.
interrupting, so I apologize. You're looking forward to finishing that. Are you going to get any Dale guys to add to it with the new Dale guys, or are you just going to keep playing with the pure dwarves?
I have Dale. I picked up the king, his son, and I think it was like 9 of the new knights.
Yeah, man, you must have definitely sacrificed a lot to get that. Your right
I got
arm,
'em-
your left leg,
I think
your first 2
that was
sons.
the pre-order. As soon as they were announced, I set some aside.
Yeah, I got 15 of the nights. That was a rough order.
I think I got like
Lee,
500
you
points
cannot afford that.
of Dale.
I have like 800 points of Dale, and it's just all warriors, captains, and Girion.
But I mean, you know me, I love my dwarves. I love my pure armies. I might throw Dale in just to give it a try, but Erebor has done so good for me just by itself.
I agree
I'm pretty
with that.
happy with it. As for goals, we got your event in February, the Battle of the Five Armies, which I do plan to attend. So does Richie.
Yeah, you guys are signed up.
Yeah, like as soon as you announced it, I was like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and reserve that ticket.
Well, it does my heart glad to know that somebody enjoys me enough to instantly pay money when I announce something.
Oh, I mean, we'll just make that little weekend trip down just to
But you gotta
see you.
You're not gonna be able to hear it.
Exactly. Which is what you guys did before, which is great.
I know the
So you gotta go back to that.
I know the
Kevin.
Richmond guys. They have their event in April planned.
Kevin, stop giving
I
us
think
feedback.
it's April 23rd and 24th. Their
Yeah.
Bilbo's birthday bash. They got a 2-day event coming up. They got it worked out. Okay.
There you go.
It's the guys down in Richmond. They got their 2-day event in April. I would like to go to that. We'll see how work is looking when that comes around. I really want to have a rematch with Mike and Jerry, who I have not faced since I rejoined the game back all the way back at the Fall of Art, what was it, the Great Falls or something like that.
Yeah, great venue. Great venue.
Yeah, I haven't. That was the first time I faced Mike and Jerry, and I haven't had a rematch since. So, been looking forward to that.
I should be able to figure something out with all three of you guys. I might be able to get at least one of them matched up against you. Can't promise
Yeah.
anything.
Hey, I'm
As
just
long as-
saying, Jerry plays third at that one, so I think you need to go take him away from that.
Yeah, as long as Jerry doesn't fight Richie, because I know he's getting tired of that. So.
Oh, Jerry and Richie have played each other a number of times?
Oh, every event they have been fighting at least once.
Well, I will see what I can do to not match them up.
I know Jerry was tired of fighting Moria with Young, and then Richie comes along with his Moria, and he just can't get away from it.
Hey, there's no such thing as too much of a good thing. Or, I guess maybe there is.
When it drives you into the ground every time you fight it, yeah, it gets a little overwhelming.
Well, that's good. Sai, what about you? What you looking forward to for 2022? You got any big plans?
I got display board stuff in my head that I got to get out of it. Yeah, I got some terrain boards to get out of my head too. I got an Isengard board that I want to do with Ornthanc in it. It'll be about 3 feet tall. Yeah,
That would be cool.
and just get some more models painted and get them off my freaking thing of shame. Yeah, and just keep going with the hobby. I mean, your tournament, yeah, but as far as anything else goes, no. Yeah, because I mean, we'd love to build it here and have 2 tournaments a year. But I'll announce it here then, because John will probably hear it anyway. That
Maybe. I
we're
don't know.
thinking about doing a large 2-day tournament.
He's mentioned something about that to me before. I actually have a little chat group with all the
Maybe.
with the Carolina
Yeah.
with the Carolina lead guys, and he has brought that up because I was trying to get an idea of what we're looking at for the Carolinas for 2022, and it's looking pretty busy. Just I have nothing planned outside of Great Battle Carolinas. We're shelving Ringo South for 2022, just because there's a lot of people who are trying to put events on,
Yeah.
and what is it?
We're
My event in February. You guys have actually run 2 events each of the last
Before
2 years.
Yeah, we've had 2 events. They've just been small because the
Yeah.
place we play at, you can have max 12 people, maybe. But I think Mark and them, they are doing something in Greenville, I think.
Yeah,
They have
Evan
coming up
and
too.
Evan and David have they have an event planned for January. They're doing a 600-point event around the journey of the fellowship, and
Yeah.
then February has my event going on. March, I believe, is when John was looking to do the next Fayetteville event. Chad was
Yeah.
looking to do one, I think, for April maybe, but he may not. He may push it. So
We were Well, because I mean, we were kind of looking. I knew we were going to do a small one in March or April, something like that, and then the larger one would be next year, November maybe.
Okay.
We'll see. We got to get the. I mean, all the guys got to get together and put out a list of where all the events are, so we're not like. Because if we want to do a large event with like 30 people, we don't want to step on anybody else's toes.
Yeah, and that's kind of why I have canceled. I talked to Dan and Joe. I mean, can't say I canceled, but Dan and Joe, they're got stuff going on. Dan's getting married the week after March on Music City, so he's got that
Oh,
going on
jeez.
this year. And then
Yeah.
he just moved to Raleigh. Joe just started a new job, and he's already moving up quickly through the ranks. He was gonna try and get
Yeah.
on tonight with us, but he's actually traveling for work right now because they're opening a new store where he works. And even though he just started there, because of his experience doing that job in the past, he's at the new store training new people.
Yeah.
So
Daniel joined our group,
yeah,
but he hasn't come down.
yeah, he.
Um,
I don't.
we're in an advantageous position because we have Fort Bragg,
Mhm.
and the turnaround from guys is just incredible.
Mhm.
They're here for you get guys for 2-3 years, and then they go somewhere else. That's the sad part. But there's always somebody. We had 2 new guys show up last Thursday
Oh, that's good. That's kind of
and
what's
brought
hurt
models
us.
with them.
That's kind of unfortunate. That's kind of what hurt us over the last 3 years. When I first moved into the Charlotte area, we had about 15 people, and now it's down to single digit. And between people moving away, quitting the game, we had 3 people quit the game just in the last 2 years. So
Yeah, we have guys. We had one guy that he just brought all his models last Thursday and sold them all. He brought an Iron Hills Army too, all not painted, just all built, and I sold it for $120.
oh wow, it was probably like $300 or $400 worth of stuff too, probably.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, I wish we had more guys show up because we have what, 8-10 guys. So I mean,
You've got a good core.
well, their core is good. The 4 main guys, the core is good. It's not going anywhere, but it's bringing in the new guys. So that's the hard part is bringing in the new people.
Right.
I mean, when we play on Thursday nights, it's like everybody comes back and they're like, "Oh, cool. What is this?" You tell them it's Lord of the Rings, like, "No way. Yeah, way." So that would be one of my goals is to bring in more people to our group because I would love to have 16 people there on a Thursday night.
That's a good goal. I would say this is just my thought process. I don't know if doing a 2-day event for you guys next year would be effective just because of the fact that I have my nose in a lot of communities out there and just paying attention to things. And it seems like there are a lot of large events trying to be planned for next year. I'm going to
Yeah,
assume that Nova is going to be back in September because it sounds like
more than likely.
Yeah, it sounds like Adepticon is going to be back in March, from what Mike was saying, and then Historicon's going to be back and going.
Yeah, I'm actually going to a Storicon, I
There you
think.
go. And then I mean, Las Vegas has the Las Vegas Open going on. I'm assuming they're trying to keep doing the Atlantic City Open in New
Yeah, more than
Jersey.
likely.
It just seems to me like it's a it's a golden age to have events going on. It's
Yeah.
just hard to try and plan one yourself when
Uh,
everybody's going to
yeah.
be doing one.
A large, well, there's not, as far as I know, south of the south of Virginia, and the largest one I know about is in Nashville, the one coming up, and there's nothing down here.
Well, we do RGS,
That,
and
well,
before RGS is a 2-day event. It's been a 2-day event. It wasn't this year because I was doing it on my own, and I'm not trying to run a 2-day event on my own on top of trying to work 60 hours a week. So it just seems like there's going to be an influx of 2-day events come January through about the end of April, beginning of May next year. And by that point, I'm thinking all these folks who go and travel to them are going to get burned out or just be like, oh, hey, I'm kind of broke now. Between
Yeah.
the Richmond guys having their Bilbo's birthday bash in April, and then they're having the Richmond Open, which is going to be a 2 or 3 day event. Mike knows more about that than I do.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one too.
Yep. So there's 2 of them right there within 2 months of each other, and then Nova is going to be at the end or Labor Day weekend, so the end of August, beginning of September. Yeah,
We'll have
It's like-
NashCon again. Will be a 2-day event. That
yeah.
Nashville will have. So
It seems like from like April to like August or September is like the sweet spot to have a tournament.
Yeah.
At the end of the year, everybody's pretty much burnt out,
Or it's
and
the
with the
holidays.
holidays coming up, people are like, well, I'm not doing anything in November, December because I got Christmas coming up.
Yeah. If you do that kind of
So
stuff.
yeah, well, yeah, we do.
I don't.
So it's
I don't do holidays.
but it's
But the majority of people do.
yeah, we still want to hold a large event. Maybe it'll be 2023 and not 22.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not
We'll
trying
have
to
to
discourage.
see.
I think it's a great idea, and the fact that you guys are right off I-95, which is the big north-south interstate for the
Yeah.
East Coast, kind of will help bring guys up. I mean, there's
Yeah, especially with 295 being here now.
yeah, there's guys down in Florida, and there's a group now in Texas. So I know that
Mhm.
there's groups growing and places to go and play and visit. So
Yeah, I don't know. John and I will talk this Thursday and figure out what we're gonna do. We'll have to get Ray in on it too.
yeah, I'll probably. I want to probably. That's why I tried to start doing the whole Discord servers to get all the North Carolina guys going, get them involved. That would be like, hey, now between Charlotte area, Asheville area, Fayetteville area, and Greenville area, you've got 5 different places all trying to do events just in the Carolinas.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, we got
Yep.
we got to organize just amongst ourselves so we can support each other before trying to pull
Yeah.
other people from outside.
Yeah, it's the Carolinas is. I don't know if it's the hot spot. It'd be interesting to
It's a good
see.
melting pot. The Carolinas are the melting pot of the East Coast. You got everybody that comes up during the summertime from the south because it's too hot in Florida and Georgia, and you got everybody that comes
Yeah.
down from the north in the wintertime because it's too cold up in New York, New Jersey, and Virginia. So it is a perfect spot to have a lot of people.
Yep. All right. Well, my wife is gonna be. She probably wants me to come to bed.
I don't blame you. It is 11 o'clock our time. But,
You know, we get
Yeah,
up. She gets up at 4:30 in the morning to get ready to go to school.
I get up at
on,
3:30 to get ready to go for work, so I feel you on that one.
How far you gotta drive? Jeez.
45 minutes, but we start at 5 a.m.
Oh, so you get out at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
3 o'clock.
So, yeah.
10-hour days, 6 days a week,
So yeah.
7 days because I've been working Sundays.
adulting.
Yeah.
Hey man,
I'll pay in the paycheck.
gotta make that fat paycheck before you get fired because you don't have the COVID vax.
Yeah.
That's the other thing that hurt all the tournaments this year was the last.
Back on topic. But yeah, if you got to go, thank you, Cy, for joining in. We
No
appreciate
problem.
that.
We should do this again more often.
Hey, we gotta try. We gotta do what we gotta do. You
Yep.
know.
I'm gonna probably head out too.
Yep. Josh, you already probably know. I appreciate it.
All right, guys.
Thank you, guys. Take it easy.
Have a good night.
Lee, you're still there. What you got coming for
Yes.
2022?
hopefully more wins. But no, I'm gonna try to. As oppressive as the Vanquishers were, I don't imagine I will, because I like to go to tournaments to have fun. So I doubt I'll play it very much, and I might take it to some big events that I go to. But at least pre-nerf, I'm not gonna run it a whole lot. So I've been painting a Palace Guard this whole time, trying to get my Halls of Thranduil going.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. Be honest with me. Is it really that powerful? Like, I haven't got my
Like
book, so I
it
don't.
has some hard counters and scenarios, and certain armies like resistance to magic really kills it. Like my loss the other day was against Rivendell with Lindir giving all the knights resistant to magic, and I couldn't get anything off.
I feel
But
like it's not. I know it's good, but with only like 4 models, it's only got 4 models, doesn't it? Or has it got 5?
it's got 5, but I only played with 4 because of the points. Because it was 750. You can take Gandalf 2, and it's an even 500. I could have took the sleigh, but I think it's better with having all 4 on foot because you can keep them in the bubble because the each one of them buffing each other is huge.
Right. Well, I mean, I saw a little bit. I've heard a little bit. I know that they buff each other and work together. I just feel like scenarios like Lords of Battle, where you're not going to be doing a lot. They're good casters, so they don't have a lot of offensive damaging power outside of Sorcerer's Blast. And then things where like
Lords of Battle, they will mop up in Lords of Battle.
Really? How?
Yes, because the wizards get 3 attacks each, and Elrond's a banner, and it's or at least the wizards start with 3, and Radagast and Elrond both having renew. You're going to keep your wounds up.
Well, you still take a wound though.
Yeah, you would still take a wound, but I mean they're going to have a major output of wounds. I murdered an Angmar army, and like
That's
Evan
fair.
just
That's
finally
fair. Yeah.
stopped resurrecting his Nazgul because he won 1 fight the whole game.
You're right. Lords of Battle is kind of good for elite armies like that, but scenarios like what's it called? Movement scenarios. Domination,
Yeah,
capturing
rank and
control.
order would be hard. Like I
Storm
played
the
Evan in
King.
capture and control.
Hell, I would hate to play against domination with it.
Yeah, but
Breakthrough would be tough for it. Divide and conquer would be tough for it. Hold ground would be tough for it.
I like divide and conquer in it a little bit better because at least you're going to stay together because you're one war band and you can still focus down. And being able to cast spells in combat, and they can. I would still feel confident in some objective scenarios. Just get them close to breaking, but not quite breaking, and then go pretty much run everybody off the objectives with Sorcerer's Blast and Instill Fear and stuff like that.
I'll have to see. Like I said, I've heard a little bit. I don't know exactly all the rules, all the special abilities.
That was another thing that hurt me too. Was playing it for the first time against the Rivendell matchup was my first game, and I forgot like half my rules. And once
happens.
Yeah, but after that, like I played a Angmar Horde, and he had 1 model left at the end of the game. I killed everybody. Yeah, and then Evan, like I killed the Necromancer 3 turns. He ran out of will because he was constantly having to resist.
I feel you, yeah.
So,
are you planning on running any events there for the Nashville group next year, or are you just gonna? Because I know you were changing jobs, I think, at one point. So I don't know how your schedule works.
I'm still working on that. I'm not planning one for the first of the year like I did this year. It'll probably be toward the middle.
Okay.
I want to do one, but since I have to travel so far, if I'm going to drive that far, I'd rather play.
Fair. That's fair. You just gotta do like John Bealey, just hold it in your basement,
Yeah,
that's what I've done. I've done little local ones here. I literally just do it in my house. Mike's been to my house. Josh and Richie have been here. I've got enough space where I can run a 16-man event if I really had to.
Oh, and I mean, we've got a town. I might look into that to see if anybody would travel. The town that I could do it in would probably be about the same distance for everybody as John's is.
Hey, I'll come. How about that? That'll help encourage you.
There we go.
If I can get the time off. Unlikely, but I will try.
We'll see. Hopefully, I plan to make more tournaments than I did this year. I missed a whole lot more than I usually do because of work and kids stuff coming up. And like Evan said, I miss Music City, so Yeah, still, but I drug her all the way to North Carolina twice. So I mean, it wasn't that bad. But
Hey, we
my
enjoy seeing the family.
anniversary's next week, so March on Music City. Just we got to have our anniversary weekend. So
Yeah, I can understand that. Being married myself, I'm pretty sure it's a deal breaker for a marriage. You go and pass up an anniversary to go roll dice and move little plastic figures.
yeah, I wasn't going to test that theory. So, but no, Mirkwood, like that's a big thing for me. I've got a plan for a really good display board and got an autumn theme going. So that's going to be a big focus. It's always been my favorite army. It's the first thing I loved when I was a kid reading The Hobbit was the elves.
Yes.
And so, and that's one of the few design choices I liked from the Hobbit movies was how the elves looked. So the Ranger kit is the best plastic kit in the entire range for troops, not heroes,
Yeah.
but for troops.
I like the Palace Guard myself. I had them. They look pretty good. Actually, the Mirkwood Rangers aren't bad. They seem a little thin to me. The Palace Guard they're like a little beefier, you know.
Yeah, that's what I'm painting right now. So I like the Palace Guard, but the Rangers are just so dynamic. They're
That is very true.
granted that makes for very hard angles to get your brush into, but
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that.
But no, I'm really happy with how they're turning out. So they're going to be a big focus this year, and try to make them work. I'll probably try the Ranger Legion, but I'm just planning on vanilla Mirkwood.
Hey, you say vanilla, but Thranduil is animal.
Yeah, for sure. I
Thranduil.
painted the old metal one the other day. It's about my favorite sculpt in the entire range.
I saw that. I saw that come up on when you shared it.
So yeah, that's about it. It's just make more tournaments and hopefully get some. I'm doubtful I'll get more podiums if I don't run Vanquishers, but hopefully some more best painteds or something.
You'll probably get more awards than I will. I can almost guarantee that.
You got to go to them to win them.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Mike, what are you looking for?
I think I'm gonna have to.
Go ahead, Lee. Sorry.
No, I was gonna say I'm probably gonna have to jump off here in a minute too. We got to get ready for bed, get the kids in bed. So
That's cool.
But,
That's cool.
I'll hold on a minute so you and Mike ain't all by yourselves.
Oh, we got Kevin here too.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
here. I think
Oh.
is the microphone working?
I can hear you.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
But does Kevin really count without Evan there? I mean,
Oof.
Wow. I don't know. I think yes. I think yes.
oh no, I love Kevin.
Hey, he
Just
plays
acting
Rohan,
weird.
so I have to like him. Like it's in the Rohan code book. Like you play Rohan, you instantly have to like other Rohan players.
Exactly.
Yeah, since Kevin and Evan joined Nashville, they're definitely my second, third favorite guys. I mean, nobody can be anybody's favorite besides Ezra, but
Hey, I don't have any favorites. I hate you all equally, all right?
So everybody's your favorite.
Exactly. And yet somehow I still win Best Sportsman. Mike, what you looking forward to 2022?
It's just two things, man. I've been trying to get this podcast up and running. It's kind of hard with Jerry just doing his own thing.
I didn't even know.
But definitely the podcast, and I'd like to be able to get a painting award at Adepticon. Those are basically the two big ones for this year.
Like a golden demon?
No, I mean, I don't know if I'd put in for a golden demon, but definitely as far as just even on the Middle Earth scene, get something there. But, I've never been to Adepticon, and, it's always been like a life goal of mine to go. And I had the hardest part about getting to Adepticon, as anyone knows, is getting a hotel room.
Yes.
And the last time I got a hotel room, the world ended with COVID. And so, I got one this year. I'm so pumped for next year. But with this news coming out now, I'm just like, you've got to be kidding me, man. Anytime I try to get out to this thing, there's something coming up. So, hopefully we're still all good for it. Because I'm definitely got to try and keep myself sober a little bit just to enjoy it a little bit. But man, I'm going to be a little girl there. It's going to be like Candyland.
Yeah, I've wanted to try and get to Adepticon before as well, but March in Chicago, I've done it once. I don't want to really do it again, but it'd be cool to go to Adepticon. It'd be one of those, like you said, it's kind of like a once-in-a-lifetime thing. I've done Nova once.
Oh,
It was
absolutely.
good. I don't want to do Nova again. Going up to Adepticon would probably be pretty cool to do the same thing as well.
I will say the good news is I think Nova realized that they kind of screwed it up last year, especially because everyone else ended up just going forward with their stuff. So I do think that they will. If Adepticon happens this year, it'll definitely be a thing. They'll do it.
Yeah, I know some folks are looking forward to getting back to Nova. I said I'm not gonna go.
Yeah,
I did it
Nova's
once,
my
I'm
Christmas,
done.
man.
Yeah, but I think it'd be cool to get to Adepticon at some point. So, what's this podcast you're talking about? I didn't know you guys were trying to do that.
And I've been trying to set up a podcast now for months. I have the art print. I have, if you want to see the art print, it's on my Instagram. So I have the art print done. I have the initial opening done. It almost sounds more of like a rock radio show opening, which I kind of thought it was cool. It's a little cheesy. I don't know if a lot of the hobbyists will like it, but I think it's definitely appreciable. But yeah, man, I've wanted to get. Say again.
I like some rock music.
I've definitely wanted to get this thing off, and we had recorded an episode. Shit, man, probably right before that crazy month of when was RGS on that? Was that June or July? Whenever it got crazy for us.
When we went
June. Okay, so we probably did it like, right before May, before I had like just weekend after weekend after weekend of events. And I'm not really, I don't really know how to do all this, and we did it via Zoom and tried to record it, and it didn't work out. And then I was talking to Evan at our event, and he was telling me about somehow using it through the Discord to record and then sending it to Anchor. So I need to get with him and actually have to take it with me, Barney style, so I can see how this thing works, man. Because I'm not good with technology. I have Anchor. Like I said, man, I have everything to make this happen. But as far as like recording and getting it to Anchor is a fallacy of the equation.
Well, I don't know about Anchor, but I can definitely give you a hand with some of the tech stuff. I mean, that's what I've been doing for the last 7 months since I started this YouTube channel, and apparently I'm doing something right because 205 people out there follow along with the crappy ass videos that I make. So.
Yeah, man. I think he was this is kind of like what I was trying to do, was do it through the Discord way, to get it into the Anchor, because Anchor feeds into all of them, right? And so like if people are big on music, they're gonna have Spotify, or even if they're not, they can get Spotify for free, and then they can listen to your stuff. Like I listen to his stuff through Spotify. So just being able to do that, and so knowing that there is a way to do it, I guess is a big thing.
Well, that's good. I mean, I hope you can get it going. It's supposed to be you and Jerry, you said?
Yeah, so I mean, it's supposed to be me and Jerry because I paid for the thing, and it's with Mike and Jerry, right? But we want to have other people. So like when we initially set it up, we wanted to interview you before RGS and talk about like the tournament thing. And there was a lot of stuff that we wanted to do. So like there's all kinds of people, kind of like what you got going on here. People I wanted to introduce.
Just get different people in the community, bringing them in there.
Yeah, exactly. And I want to make basically more so promote the hobby and the community versus I guess what we see in other ones where it's like how can I create a nasty
Yeah,
list
how
and
can I
steamroll
go and
people
pound people
that
into
don't
the
know what they're
dust?
doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so like that was my biggest argument / bitch at the tournament I ran. I definitely saw that with the haves and the have-nots. And so like even more so now, I really, really appreciate the community aspect of it.
Yeah, that's kind of how I got going in my channel. It's like there's a lot of good ones out there that are like top tier table or top tier gaming or whatever, top table gaming, whatever it is, and you know like GBHL channel. Those guys, they're looking to like try and how can we ground and pound? How can we make the most competitive list? Well, what about just trying to build the hobby and build the community? Like, where's the how-to videos for like this is how you cast a spell. This is how you call a heroic movement. This is how you do it. This is how something. So that's kind of what I was looking at. Just simple how-to videos. You get good videos in there too. Like battle reports are definitely one of the competitive side, but I like the building side. And that's basically what this is. Is like it's 2.5 hours, 3 hours worth of just a bunch of nerds talking and chatting and catching up, which is great.
Right.
So, well, I hope that goes for you, man. I hope 2022 gets that going for you.
Yeah, so we're gonna try. Jerry's coming over next week. I think it's next week. What this week? No, not this week. Coming up, in the following week. He's gonna come over and try and record. I think on the 10th. So I need to start get some stuff together for it. But he's gonna actually be here in my house in my basement. We're gonna record that way. That way we can just record straight onto freaking Anchor and go from there. And you know, if I see that we have some decent views, yeah, we're gonna try and push for this thing to happen. But if no one's really caring, so like when I posted my art print, and I really love my art print, man. It's so cool. It's like a hobbit with a paintbrush and a beer, with a paintbrush in his mouth, holding a beer, like with the microphone. It's awesome, man. But when I posted that, like, hey, I'm excited for this thing to happen, yada yada, hamna hamna, and I kind of got some feedback more so from, I guess the bigger people in the podcast community, like, why are you doing this, or we don't need another one, or blah blah blah. And so that that one kind of turned me off a little bit too. Yeah.
I hate when people do that. Like, folks listen to this. Again, that's why it's not your right to tell somebody what they can and can't do. If you want to do it, then by all means go ahead. Like, people don't need me making shitty ass little videos with my crappy camera telling them how to play the game, but apparently there's people out there who do like that idea and they do like that content. I mean,
sure.
So yeah, I don't listen to them. I honestly have less respect for a lot of the bigger names than I do for the littler names, because the bigger names are like, oh, look at us, you know, I've got staying. I don't even get. I can get on a soapbox for that, but I won't. So I prefer talking to the Lees and the Kevins and the Evans and the Mikes of the world more than the big name players of the world. So,
yeah, I concur with that statement, man.
Yeah. I hope it goes well for you guys. That's a good goal. That's a good goal for 2022. And I will listen. I will be one of those followers.
You ain't just gonna be a follower. We're gonna need you sometimes, man.
Hey, I mean, you're a follower from me, and here you are. So I'm here.
There we go.
Just give me at least a little bit of a heads up.
I know.
Kevin, you've been quiet for a long, long time. What's 2022 looking like for you, my friend?
Just kind of expanding on, personal hobby, and then trying to grow the hobby, and especially our group here. I'm actually close to completing my first board that I've made.
Hell yeah.
So making, the typical Osgiliath board.
A good starting point.
Yeah. And I mean, it can be used for, a whole bunch of different stuff too. It doesn't just have to be Osgiliath. But actually right before that, like Evan and me were a little bit late because we were at Home Depot a little bit longer than usual. But I have, like, the boards are laid out. I have all the buildings painted, everything like that. I just got to cut the foam and then put on the texture, and then paint the board, and it's done. So it should be done by this coming weekend for March on Music City. And then, I mean, just want to continue building and painting, keep going to as many tournaments as possible, and I want to try to travel a little bit more, go to some different places, and go back to Carolina, go to DC, Atlanta, Kansas City, Chicago, everything like that, and just kind of, you know, play with different groups of people, see how they do it, grow the community a little bit. We'll all go out there, people will come here, and you know,
Yeah.
like
That's,
what 40K has the biggest following from Games Workshop, and I think it
Here
would
in
be
the
nice
US.
to see, like a big group of SBG people, gathering, and like we have, a 70, 80 player tournament at some big convention hall sometime. And, people who are on the fence or have never heard about the game, they'll see that stuff start blowing up online, and then, one thing leads to another, and the community keeps growing, and more people are playing this game and everything like that.
Yeah, Nova and Adepticon are both huge. I mean, I think Nova's up to 100 people, and I'm pretty sure Adepticon's right there as well. And they do more than just.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I mean, those are two huge events, and they've been going on for a while. It's not like it happens overnight.
Yeah.
But there's 40K is the big one here in the U.S., but there has been a huge influx of new players for MESBG since the game had its renaissance in 2018. I mean, you and Evan are like just perfect examples for that. You played it before, put it away, now you've come back to it, so it's great to get folks like that. I mean, that's kind of like me. I played it for years from 05 to 08, 09 their time frame. Actually, earlier than that. I think it was like 02 to 05. But then you put it aside, you pick it back up. So, it's a good goal. I like that idea. Grow. Biggest thing you can do is try and grow your local community, because then, like you said, you can travel like Evan and Ezra and Ian did to DC for events, and then they can travel to you to support you. I mean, that's what my 2019 was. I think I went to Atlanta, I went to DC 3 times, I went to Nashville 3 times. I went to Pennsylvania for Historicon. Yeah, you just travel around, be like, hey, look, this is the group I'm coming from. So I did that a little bit this year when I went up to Atlantic City. So that's a good goal. That's a good idea.
Yeah. And I mean, Europe is, I mean, they dwarf our community, it seems like. Like even on like the Instagram page I have for this, I was bored one day looking at the Instagram insights or whatever, and it was like Great Britain is like what was it? It was like 35% of my followers are from the UK, and then the US was like 20%, and then Spain, and then Germany, and then Australia.
Yeah, I think I have a
So,
lot of followers,
like,
a lot of subscribers that are from over in Europe.
yeah. So I mean, if we can get the community like, the UK or Australia, and I didn't know this, but apparently Spain has a huge SBG
I've heard
following
that.
over there too, and then Germany does also. Like if we can get groups like that, and then like what Evan was saying, maybe one day going over to, Games Workshop Mecca and getting our teeth kicked in by some British power gamers. Like I would love to do that. I wanted to do that this past summer, but with all the restrictions, everything like that, it just wasn't feasible to go over there. So I'm hoping this coming summer things will be better. I'll have more money put aside. So instead of just going over for like, 4 days to stay over there, I can stay over there for like a week and like,
Play tourist.
do hobby stuff, go sightseeing, like make a vacation out of it, and then like get some games in too over. Like I'll go over when there's like some big stuff posted on like the British Hobby League. So like I'll plan a vacation like an event going on that they post about. So go over, sightsee, whatever, go to the tournament, go to Warhammer World, go sightsee some more, come back home.
Yeah, Mike and a group of us talked about going over for their big yearly event where it's literally it's a competition between all the different countries. Every country brings a team, and we talked about doing.
Oh
that.
yeah.
And I think there's
Correction.
something-
It's not just a team. It's not just a team. We got to get out of that mindset too.
Should. Well, countries send teams. How about that? Countries
Yes,
can
there you
send
go.
Teams. It's just a
Like the Nerd Olympics.
yeah.
Basically.
But I'd like to do like Throne of Skulls is one of their big ones over there, and I've seen that a number of times, and I've always thought that'd be cool to go to. I wouldn't mind going to Warhammer World. I've heard that it hasn't been as great lately, but that's just because of shutdowns and stuff like that. But I expect it to bounce back next year, the year after.
Oh yeah.
I think it'd be cool. I mean, I'd even talk to my wife about it. I was like, you wouldn't mind? It would be cool to go over there, play tours for 4 or 5 days, and play in a weekend event, and then get my teeth kicked in, just like you said, and then go home and be like, oh, hey, well, I can scratch that off the bucket list.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. That's cool. I like it. Well, I am out of questions and out of topics, and it's just the three of us now. We're the last of the Mohicans. But I mean, we've been going at it for over 3 hours, so I'm not surprised.
Oh dang. Okay.
Yeah, we started around 8 o'clock Eastern time, and with you an hour behind, so.
Oh okay. Yeah.
But yeah, so thank you guys both. Any last minute things either you want to bring up or ask or discuss?
Good.
March on Music City. Still spots left. It's in Nashville, so it's easy to get to. You can come for a weekend after the tournament. Go out, get weird. It's Nashville, so lots to do.
And I was really close. I really was. It's just not going to work out logistically, unfortunately, for me. I was even.
Yeah.
I was contemplating. All right, I cannot work this weekend. I can leave at 2 a.m. or I can leave at 3:30 a.m. It's a 6-hour drive. I'll make it by 9:30. First round starts at 10. All right, I can stay one night. That might fit my budget. Then I have to drive home. I'd make it home by 11 o'clock Sunday night. Get up at 3:30 Monday morning, go to work. Yeah, that sounds like
Just hate yourself for a week.
well, it sounds like an accident waiting to happen. I was like,
Yeah.
as much as I would like to, because I haven't been out to see you guys in Nashville for a while, and it sucks. It's just like, I don't really want to risk as much as I don't believe in living in fear. I also don't believe in taking stupid risks. That's like doing gymnastics off of a power line pole. I mean, you can do it, but if that power line pole breaks, you're just going to be a human crisp. So don't take stupid risks. But, well, thank you guys. Thank you to everyone else who came and has since left. I appreciate it. Thank you, subscribers. As always, please leave a comment if there's something that you're interested in hearing about. Leave a comment if something we talked about interests you. You're like, oh, hey, I want to go to this event. How can I get signed up? Well, I can do what I can to hook you up and make sure you can get there. If there's something that we talk about, this army, I played that army and I have this insight on it. Hey, let us know. That's how the community grows. Like Mike's trying to do with podcasts. That's how you grow the communities, through interactions and connections. So that's why it's a community. But until next time, please like, share, subscribe. We'll beat those damn YouTube analytics together, and take care.